commenced the recording. Get comfortable. We are back. All right. Well, welcome everybody back to number 51 episode of Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. You are with the brothers again for Memorial.
Yes.
This will be the Memorial podcast, right?
Yes, it's a memorial podcast. And it's another Brewcast, probably for the next few weeks. So I'm excited to fill in, and I'm excited about kind of what we have coming up as well. But yeah, I'm excited. I love Memorial just in general. So it feels good to be on it.
We're gonna have the peeps that really want to see JT every day on the podcast. We're gonna have to have him send him like some hate mail or something.
Some hate emails
while he's been brewing, since he's just our special guest now. So he's a little busy, especially since the grand opening.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Oh God, I think I will play the part of JT today by hacking on everything. Holy shit. I was just fine. Now I'm like eyes watering and shit. Oh God.
Hey, you got some allergies going on there, friend. We need to take a time out, or you need more whiskey.
I got an idea.
Oh yeah, twist the cap, baby.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna help. Too late now.
I think it'll help. I think it'll be one good ride.
Yeah, we'll see. By the way, what are you drinking over there, guy?
Well, tonight, courtesy of, I paid for it, but it is Bearded Viking Mead. There it is. There you go. It's the
straight
Healy
from space.
Jalapenos, raspberry, honey, water, and yeast, right there, all mixed together. And that's what I'm starting off with. I have a couple beers, and I do have the apple pie just in case we run long.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So cheers, motherfuckers, in true JT fashion before we even get started.
I got the girls behind me too.
Oh, sassy.
Yeah, the girls are back there, but I am drinking Jameson tonight.
Good for you. Is it in a hot toddy?
No, it's on ice. So yeah, let's get into this agenda a little bit. We'll give everybody a rundown.
Yeah.
Obviously we're gonna get your take on the grand opening and your favorite bottle, and then we'll jump into men's mental health. Feet first. Plug your nose, bitches, because we're diving in. They're jumping in. Feet first. I said feet first, right?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, feet first. I can't even swim, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, put your floaties on. We're going, bitch. We're talking a little bit about legacy and kind of the steps you take to grow one, and what you see your legacy being. Then we'll jump into the strange and mysterious, paranormal conspiracy corner that we like to do. We're talking about maybe a little bit of reincarnation, and then we'll get to our little bit more about the grand opening stuff from your take, maybe some shout outs, stuff like that. That sound fun? You want to go?
Fantastic.
You want to go on the ride?
Dude, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I've been chewing at your ankles about this. We've all been busy. We've all had some shit going on. Me and you have had some stuff going on with the car club and stuff, and so I'm super stoked.
Yeah,
I'm super stoked. Let's go.
We skipped a week, and it seems like a month.
I know, dude. I just saw you on Saturday, and it feels like I haven't seen you in a month and a half.
Yeah, it was like 12 days ago was the 50th episode. Is when it came out, and not a lot of people listened to it. So maybe we're not good. Maybe we're not good at like anniversaries and stuff. or good at maybe staples, our 50th, our 25th, because I think our 25th is ass too. I'll have
I
to
think
look
we
back.
made. I think we did decent on our 40. Um,
We didn't even do a 25th. We went like 24th and then 26th.
fucking
So
skipped it.
yeah, so we're not good at
Oh, the
counting either.
25th is much. We probably got canceled that episode.
Oh,
That's
that's what it
yeah.
was. It was
That
canceled. Yeah, so we
yeah.
don't do good with we don't do good with
Yes.
25s and 50ths apparently.
So it's 52 is going to be good because you have to do it in twos.
Right, right,
So
right.
if 26 was good, then I mean we gotta ease in with this one and then just blow it up next time.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's the Bros Brewcast. It's the Bros Memorial Brewcast.
Bros.
So yeah, kind of getting into the news. JT is probably gonna move more towards being a special guest on the podcast, so he's gonna grace us with his presence more. Um, but generally, it's probably gonna be just you and I doing it, and then we'll have our guests on. And I know Murph's he's itching to get on.
Oh,
This
he's
dude went
jumping at the
out
bit.
and bought all of his own stuff so he
Yeah.
could join the podcast. I think he rented an office too, just so he could be on the podcast. Like he's intense. He's
Hey,
not,
fucking for real, dude.
he's not fucking around, dude. He's
He talked to
all
his
in.
brother. He's like, bro, I got to get a place where I can do this because I can't
I
talk
need,
about this stuff at the house.
I need an office. I need a leather chair and a cherry wood desk. Let's go.
In a fridge.
That's what I should do. I should put a fucking beer fridge in here.
No shit, man. I mean, I don't
What?
know why it hasn't happened already.
Where is
Maybe I'll
that
get you one
idea
for
been?
your birthday
Dude, Art Mike
next year.
died. The
I
beer fridge
know.
on the
That's
deck, it
fucking
finally died.
sad, dude. How long has
Yeah.
it been there? Well, that came from the Stansbury house, right?
No, it came from when I moved in with mom and dad as a married person back
Really?
from fucking Cali. Yeah.
Fuck. So that
Yeah, it
it's
was,
been going 10 years strong. I mean,
well, it's
it's had some
14
life
years,
in it.
14 years strong.
So
13,
well, so
13 years strong.
was it did okay, so is that when you bought it
I think they
or
knew I was depressed and they didn't even want me to come out of the room.
oh, so
So
they just
like
got you one for Christmas
I
like
just had a
when you
big
came
TV and I had a
back?
beer fridge in my fucking room. So I was like, here you
You're
go,
like
guy.
you promises of the
Yeah.
remodel.
It was way before that, dude. It wasn't,
Oh, it
there
was
was
way
like, I didn't even
before
have a
that.
fucking job, dude. This
Oh
was like
shit. So that
in
thing's
my,
going on like 15, 16 years
yeah,
then.
this is when I was asking dad for beer and burrito money because I didn't have a fucking
Wow.
job. Yeah, there's nothing like
Yeah,
being
that's
married and moving back into your childhood bedroom after you get out of the Marine Corps.
I mean, there's something to be said about it though.
Yeah, talk about going from hero to zero.
Yeah, she still stayed. She still stayed.
Yeah, the only thing that's died in this relationship is the fridge. I could probably order one for delivery from Home Depot.
Shit, she'd pay for it too.
But it was
To
a
get you out
sad,
of her hair.
right? Well, and I'm glad you were there on the deck because, it was a sad moment.
Oh
I've
yeah.
never opened that fridge up and had warm beer in it.
Yeah, that was it was definitely a different thing.
Like if you guys wouldn't have been here because of Sarah McLachlan was like playing in my ears, in my head when I opened it up and there was warm beer. It's like an ASPCA commercial for beer.
It wasn't even that hot outside though, too. I mean,
No,
the
it
beer was
wasn't.
probably still, I mean, room temp.
Oh,
But
it was
when you
yucky.
open it and it's like, oh, that's
Ah.
sad.
Like the light went
Sad
out in it a
day.
long time ago, but then the fire burned out. You know what I mean?
You're just waiting, just
You don't want to
looking at
lose
the
the fire.
clock. No, you don't want to lose a fire.
Oh God. It's the little things in life, folks.
Yeah, and they're the little things that make you happy, you know.
Yeah.
It's like just
Yeah.
to go out on the deck, you open the fridge and there's a cold beer in there and it's
Yeah.
cold.
And you don't
But
even
when you
remember who
don't,
the fuck put the beer in there because
yeah,
I never
no,
put
it's all
shit in there.
community beer in there.
It
That's
was
what I
always,
loved
yeah.
about that fridge is there was a
It was like a
rando
box of
fucking.
chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
It was like going into a fucking dyslexic fucking liquor store. It was
Oh, dude,
crazy.
it's so bad, but it surprised you sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sometimes it made you happy. Sometimes it made you sad.
It
Sometimes
made you
still had to go
happy, I think, more
downstairs.
than it made you happy in its later years because of the
Oh
random
yeah.
beers that it held.
Well, and the good thing was, it's like my spot, my favorite spot on your patio couch
Say
is
it
the
on my
one,
deck.
or
Your favorite
on your
spot on
big
my
back
big back
deck,
deck.
is the spot on the couch right next to the beer fridge. And I didn't mind popping it open,
And
snagging a
just
beer,
slinging beers.
not even looking. You just put your hand in there, whatever you got was what you got, and then you just chuck it, and then whatever, whatever's out there. This is my favorite spot, and I just reaching in there and have it always be cold is something that,
Yeah.
you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, now it's gone. Now, I mean, this is a Memorial Day episode, and we're gonna have to do a memoriam to that fridge.
We have to do taps to that
Yeah,
fridge.
that fridge is a
Just
fucking
burn it
yeah,
in
that
South
that
40
fridge
this
just
weekend.
holy shit, bro. Wow, wow, that really took a turn. Um,
Hey man,
that's what we do here.
we got to give credence to everything, man.
Yeah, those little special things that make our lives better. We don't even know about them until they're gone. Could be a beer
Say,
fridge. Um,
beer fridge.
could be a corncob pipe that you left in Montana. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff.
Dude, if I leave the Christmas pipe that he got me somewhere, he's just gonna be like, "Fuck this guy. I'm
He's just gonna
not get.
fucking shoot you.
I'm done giving him pipes.
You
It's just
fucking
done."
ran over the one, fucking left the other one.
I'm just not, like, if I don't have my box, I leave the pipe fucking just everywhere, because, like, I think I took it out of my pocket so I could sit down on a stool, because I didn't want to, sit down and bust it, and then, you know got drunk and left it there.
Things escalated
that's
quickly.
that's really that's really all that happened.
Say that about all your girls. So speaking about leaving shit in Grand in what fuck, where were we? Montana.
We were in Montana, yeah.
Holy shit, guy. So JT and I went out and talked about the grand opening on 50. What did you think, man? Did you have fun? Did you have a good time?
Dude, I probably had one of the best times in, like, my bearded Viking history up there, for the grand opening. Like, we've gone up there for work parties before, and we busted our ass, we broke ground, we did some fun stuff. Um, we went up, you know, for the photo shoot with Devin and stuff like that, and we had a great time, shot some guns, did some drinking, had a lot of fun. But this time it was, I mean, obviously the aura was different, and there was something special about it just being our grand opening, and doing something while we were there that actually felt like was going to add to the production of the whole thing, like
I
it
feel
actually got our hands on something. And the bottling, dude, like if I could have just bottled the whole weekend and not had to work the back door, um no pun intended, y'all.
shocking
um
man.
but um yeah, and just done that with Donnie and like the crew that we had in there, just bottling and being a badass, or just badasses, because we all flexed our muscle in doing that. I would have been fine doing that. And
I feel like it took you back to your training table days.
dude, it did. That's kind of what it felt like.
You're like,
And
order
it
up,
felt
throwing boxes
yeah.
and shit.
Well, and the cool thing was too is just the aesthetic of everybody kind of like just jumping a position, learning what they had to learn about it, and then just fucking doing it, and then kind of growing outward from there and owning it. I mean, dude, it was like nothing, that I've ever experienced with a group of fucking idiots like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
doubt.
I mean, I've been around a group of idiots that have tried to do shit before, but at the same time, this worked out really well. And it was
Favorite group of retards. Yeah,
yeah.
it was fun, and we talked about it a little bit last cast about just how everybody just kind of jumped in and played their part because they saw a hole or a gap that needed to be filled in what we were doing, and it kind of worked out. Everybody just kind of just took their positions and rolled with it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was proud of Bond because like uh uh Hook couldn't be there the second day for bottling, had some family obligations and stuff like that. But so he jumped in there. He's like, yeah, I want to learn how to pour. And, we had a couple snafus, but at the same time, it went fucking really well. I mean,
Oh yeah,
for the time this guy's ever touched a
use
fucking
the
bottle
bottling
filler.
machine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like what the
that
fuck?
I didn't want to
You,
play with that thing. That
you don't
thing
get
was
you don't get life training on that. You know what I
no.
mean? They don't teach you that in school. They don't teach you that in
That thing,
vocations.
it looks like you're about to bring Frankenstein back to
Oh,
life.
dude, yeah,
There's like
especially
hoses and cords and nozzles and shit. Like, shock him again. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
it's
Fuck that
very
thing.
technical with that thing, and
Yeah.
like everything has to be lined up, or else it's just gonna be a fucking
Yeah, dude.
mess everywhere.
It's gonna be sticky.
Yeah, I didn't want to take responsibility for the mess that
Yeah.
we were gonna have to
No,
clean up.
no, yeah. I was a happy
That's why I didn't
corker.
take that job.
I was a happy
Yeah,
corker.
you were happy corking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was happy fucking emptying bottles and swiping, and
Throwing
setting up
boxes at Nick.
bottles. Yeah, setting up bottles for the fucking poor guy.
Yeah, that shit was a lot of fun. Most definitely.
It was a ton of fun. And then we go into the grand opening, and to be honest, like my take on that, it was like um it really kind of exceeded my expectations like 1,000%. I thought, we were maybe going to get, 50, 60 people or something like that. And they were all going to be asking stupid questions and all this kind of stuff. I mean, not stupid questions, but it's like, what is mead and how is mead made? And all this kind of stuff. But everyone just came in like they knew exactly what we were doing, and they had drank mead before, and they were just ready to chill. And the crowd was so chill. I thought,
Yeah.
and that was in like the worst end. I thought it was going to be like a Kiss concert where we were going to have to, and I mean, just to wrangle people and do all this kind of
You're
thing.
gonna have to bounce people out.
Yeah, dude, but they were so chill and they were so cool, and they were just like, dude, I talked to because the smokers were coming over to kind of where I was at, and they were just chilling. So I talked to a ton of couples and a ton of people that were just like, so, just want to kind of want to know the story, and just chilled and talked with them and kind of let them know. And it was so cool. And the people were so cool, and they were so nice, and they were so welcome. I mean, it's kind of par for Montana because everybody's so fucking nice
Just
up
so
there.
laid back, yeah.
Yeah, and so chill. And so that whole crowd was the same way, and it couldn't have gone any
That was
better,
like
honestly.
the only time I think I've ever seen you sober during a party, too.
Yeah,
Remember,
it was
at like one point, like you jumped off the rail and you like beelined over, you like beelined towards a guy, and I was
oh
like,
yeah.
oh shit. And I just happened to look over at that point. I'm like, oh fuck, he sees something. Starts beelining over, and you're just like, hey bro,
Hey
you
guy.
set that down there if you're gonna go take a leak. And he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh, crisis
Right.
averted.
It's like he's good, man.
Not losing our
It's like
liquor license today, folks.
yeah, it's
The
definitely
boat's
top.
on the job and is floating right over towards that guy.
It's definitely top flight security of the world that day
Dude, I'm gonna
or
get you a
those couple
whistle.
days. Yeah, I should have had a whistle or something. And then there was a couple of people who was like, well, I'm just going over. It's like I know, but you know what? Like, I don't want to lose a liquor license. You don't want me to lose a liquor
We
license.
just got it.
Let's just play nice today. You know what I mean? It's our
You set
grand
that
opening for
there.
Christ's
I
sakes.
won't root for you, and I'll make sure that it's here when you get back.
Right? It's like, my brother just taught me a sleeper hold like an hour ago, and I'm dying to try this out. So, I mean, it's up
Let's
to
go.
you, bro.
No, it was really funny, and everybody was pretty relaxed. It was cool that, the cops came and they, stayed and hung out for a couple hours and just hung out. Nobody gave a
Well,
shit. It
yeah, and
was it was the coolest
they
shit
were a
ever.
ton of fun, and the whole community kind of just, it was like a community rally and gather, and like when the chamber came out, you know what I mean, they did their speech, which was super fucking cool and super welcoming, and we had the ribbon cutting and the bottle breaking and everything like that, dude. It was I mean, it made my nipples hard. It was,
It was a it
brought
was
me to
like the
chills.
it was the coolest small town like feel ever, and we saw over
Seriously.
1,000 people.
And it really didn't even seem like it, you know?
No, no,
I mean,
and
it was a long weekend for sure. We busted our ass, and we stood for a long time, and the bonfire was fantastic. Everybody hung out for that, and everyone was super cool and super chill. But it really didn't seem like we saw over 1,000 people. It
yeah, yeah.
was
I think it was just because it was so relaxed. The environment was so just hang out around the campfire, tell lies to your friends, tell lies to new people, like just hang out,
yeah.
just have
And
fun.
then I think the guy, my apologies, I lose his name. The guy who came to play, the
Oh,
acoustic
Dusty.
guy, Dusty, yeah. He had more fun at the campfire, playing at the campfire, than I think that he did like playing during the
I
day.
think well, and he did have a good time playing during the day, but I think the pressure's off, when it's a
Yeah, yeah.
campfire.
It was
You're
definitely.
just you're just he's like, "Oh yeah, let me grab my stool real quick." He comes back with a stool and a guitar and just starts, playing tunes by the campfire.
Yeah, and pressure was off. We were just chilling. Everybody's singing. Yeah, it was a good vibe for sure. And it was. I mean, it'd be hard to match that, you know.
Yeah. And
And
then,
that whole weekend, it hard to match that. It's just, it was so much fun, and everybody really welcomed us really well, and the team got along, and everyone was cool, and like I said, everyone just kind of fell into a spot, and just rocked it out. I mean, it really, uh, you couldn't have scripted it, you know.
oh yeah, and then Saturday night, Club Viking with all the employees. That was fun. Just everybody,
Oh, and the
you
wives,
know,
dude, that was the best.
yeah, it was a
Club
lot of fun.
Viking.
Club Viking. Club
Oos,
Viking,
oos,
Saturday
oos,
nights.
oos,
Yeah,
boots and pants and boots and
there's
pants
like
and boots and pants.
six different kinds of music going in like our, our building. It was funny.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, everybody had a good time. It was definitely a good gelling of the BVMC family for sure. So it was kind of cool. Yeah, that it was kind of impromptu, totally unplanned, right?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
the doors were locked and we were closed for business, and everybody finally just kind of got to let loose and hang out with each other, which we don't really get to do very often.
No, and we're
Because
all spread out, you know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We're very rarely are all of us in the same place at once. So that was definitely a fun exercise. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and it was cool too. I mean, we had our little company speech, and kind of gave out divvies, and thanks to everybody and all that. And then it was just like there was like half of us were leaving the next day, so it's just like, and it wasn't just like a blowout. It was just like, oh my gosh, like we're we got through it, you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
got through the masses, and we were all just able to let loose a little bit, and that was it was
And
a
like,
ball.
yeah, the team signing bottles and stuff like
No,
that.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
odd,
I
but
think
I
I
get it. No, it was a lot of fun.
I got one that totally got missed. No, I
You know
don't.
what,
I got
you
I
bummed
got it
me
on all
out,
of them.
and I think next time we go up, I'm gonna have the guys that like aren't in the core crew, like uh Charlie, and well, that like we don't see very often, like Charlie, Hook, Donnie, Nate. I'm gonna have those guys sign bottles for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't need JT's signature. You know what I mean? I see it all the time.
I'm like, hey, dude, will you sign this check?
I know. Yeah, exactly. I know what he looks like. I know what his voice sounds like. But those are the guys, really, kind of the underliers, that really kind of keep the
That we
wheels on the
couldn't
track.
do it without. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
we would be nowhere without those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Those
Most
are
definitely.
signatures I want.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you show up and you're like, fuck, did I even do anything?
I know.
like what the fuck did I do to contribute here? I
Then you
corked
look at
some
the
bottles.
last like 3 years, like, yeah, I
Maybe
did
a
a
little
few
bit.
things. Yeah.
Well, and now
Yeah.
like we're talking about, putting a totally different building up too, and uh, and turning the big one or the one that we have now into a tasting room. So kind of a sneak peek into that for you guys. But I'm like, I was thinking about it last night. I was like, God damn. I was like, we're gonna blow out this whole wall, and I like. I was like, that's where Donnie got his nickname, Turnbuckle, up on the very top of the ladder. That's where I went up as high as I could until Turnbuckle was, and
No, he
then we
just
got.
jumped up there like he's done it like every day for all of his life.
Oh yeah. So it was cool. So yeah, when we take that wall down, we're definitely gonna have to take some of those pieces of wood and have the guys that help put it up sign some of those fucking boards
Yeah, no shit.
because those are definitely original parts of the meadery. But that's a little ways off. Um, but I think it was very telling the people that showed up because they're like, hey, where are we supposed to drink in the wintertime? And
Right?
we're
They're
like,
like, what are we gonna do in the winter?
are you guys gonna
They've
close
been there
this
like
whole
for
corral
30
in?
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like, oh shit, people
We're
want a
like,
place to drink. Oh, the winter's gonna be here in 2 months in Montana. Shit, we got to get our stuff
no
together.
shit. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely got our wheels turning. So for those of you that came and put that bug in our ear, we already knew that it was gonna be a quick expansion, but yeah, you definitely helped us think a little bit further outside the box when it comes to, oh crap, we need more drinking room.
We need drinking room. And I guess it's kind of one of those things where if you build it they will come type things, and that's kind of what I felt like that whole weekend. Like I think I was reflecting a little bit on our drive back, and it was really kind of like the Field of Dreams. I mean, this whole thing has kind of just been this crazy labor of love. And then he was able to get all of us on board, and then and to just kind of believe in this whole thing, and it's going to happen. I can make this happen, and we can all make this happen. Everyone just does their part, and then like it was kind of like the Field of Dreams, and then everyone starts pulling in, dude, and there was aerial shots of like the way people were parking and all that, and I was like, oh my god, dude, and I started getting a tear. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, and
turn the lights on, turn the lights up. It's
the
that game,
Waco the
that game.
Waco kid made punch and nobody died. You know,
Yeah, 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 no shit.
no, it was a lot of fun, and you know, moving past the grand opening and everything, people finally, well, not finally, but people have started to reach out after they've gotten their bottles now.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and we already have like several people that have already done their reorders and stuff like that. And the stock is low, like we're below 50% already.
I
And
know.
we won't even be at 3 weeks until this weekend. So this weekend will be the 3 weeks.
Like official 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
and
crazy
that's
to think about, dude. And we're at 50%.
we're below
That's a
50%.
lot of
Yeah.
fucking bottles,
It's
man.
a lot
That's
of
a lot of
booze.
bottles.
Yeah, so cheers to you guys.
Yeah, cheers for everyone who bought something and who keeps buying, because yeah, without you guys we couldn't do it. And we blue balled you guys, or mead balled you guys, or whatever. I can't remember what JT was saying, but yeah, we
Hooch
blue balled
balls.
hooch balls. Yeah, we gave you hooch balls for like a year and a half. and
Yeah.
uh and you guys still fucking hung on and knew it was coming and bought bottles. So that's fantastic.
Well, and like cool piece of feedback too is there's a lot of people that are like, nope, this is my new drink now.
Yep.
This is what I want to drink. Um, and they're going into we're in every store in the county now, liquor store,
Yeah.
grocery store. So I mean, you can literally go to any store right now in what Sweetwater County, or
Stillwater.
Stillwater
Stillwater. Yeah.
County, and pick up a bottle of our hooch.
American made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
that crazy, dude?
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Like we could have came out with our own like aioli mayo or something like that, and it'd still be like 6 years out. Then we're on like grocery store fucking shelves, but like we're
Yeah.
doing the booze, and like 3 weeks in, we're everywhere in Stillwater.
Yeah, so that I think that's pretty neat too. And the meat connoisseurs and stuff like that, or the meat mead connoisseurs, that have been drinking mead forever, really excited about it, and can't believe that it is what it is right out of the chute. So
That's what surprises me. Like he's got a ton of feedback, and he sends it to the group all the time. And people that have been drinking mead for years and years and years and years, they're coming to us and saying, "Hey, this is the best mead I've ever tasted," or this is the only mead that I'm ever going to drink again," and that's saying something. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's a big statement for
Well,
somebody that's been drinking it for a long time.
it really is, and I mean because. Yeah, I'm sure that they've tried different meads and different different brands and flavors and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, from my perspective, the mead makers that are out there right now, um, they're very proud about what they do. And same as us, we're very proud of what we do. We're proud of our process. We're proud of our product. And that just goes with anything that that you're making, and you're making from scratch. And and not taking anything away from those guys, but for them to be there for so much longer than we have, and for people to say, well, this was my favorite, and that company's been in business for 15, 20 years, and they said, but yours blows this out of the water. You know what I mean? And we're fresh on the streets. That's saying something, man.
Well,
I mean,
one of the biggest things that we do too is not just the mead. It's building a culture around the mead. A culture around the meetup, um, and just trying to get people together, get them in the same room, and just kind of have discussions, hang out, just relax. Um, that's one of the coolest things to me too. Is people people are accepting of the culture that we're trying to build, and are starting to push those kind of ideals and values, which is really cool. And you know, most of them didn't know about the podcast or never listened to the podcast or anything like that. So they really didn't know the ethos or anything that we were kind of living by or preaching,
mhm.
but they were super accepting the second they got there of the culture that we were trying to build and the company story that we were telling them about, how it all came to be and what we're trying to do. And whether, when we had tons of people that came that weren't even drinkers, that
Mhm.
were just our buddies and wanted to support, or just saw the new thing in town, wanted to come check it out, and we're like, hey, good job, 10 years sober, or whatever it might have been, you know, hang out, enjoy yourself. If you need something, let us know. We're happy to see you too.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, the veteran culture, doesn't hurt, as far as that goes too, because I think that, you know, wherever that's readily available, and wherever you can do that, and wherever like you can get the word out about, veterans getting together, veterans doing something together, like, like not let alone getting together and then actually being able to create something and do something, that's positive. um I think that goes a long way with a lot of people, if vets and non-vets,
Hmm.
and that's another strong thing that I think that we have on our side is, veteran owned, veteran made, and we do it here, and we're keeping it local, and we're kind of, that goes into that's the first thing that goes into the culture, I mean, we're bringing people together, and whether it's vets, whether it's whatever, you know what I mean? It's just a fact of, something, creating something that will bring people together and have some conversations.
Oh yeah, and soon enough, like my goal too is, if you're walking past a dude and you see him in a BVMC shirt or hat or hoodie or whatever, hey, what's up, bro? You know,
Yeah.
like just creating that kind of culture where you can just go up and start bullshitting with somebody, even outside of it, and just knowing that, that person's wearing the shirt or the hat, they're accepting and they're appreciative of the culture,
Hmm.
and you're you're safe. You're safe going to talk to
Yeah.
that person, and just getting going and chopping it up with the person, and you know you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so just kind of feeding
Yeah.
off that
Like,
positive energy, that
yeah.
positive mental health.
It's like, oh, you're my people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your people. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it's
exactly.
important, and it's important to, the guys who don't talk a lot, and they don't want to talk a lot, and they don't want to be around people, and they don't want to do that, but they see that and can make the connection. That, I mean, if it
That's
can be
exciting.
that small of a connection, hey man, I feel like we've done our job, and then they can take on the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's super exciting. And now, we got some cool outfitters and photographers and stuff like that are wearing the gear, so we get to see that kind of stuff online and see those snippets and everything. And that's definitely encouraging to us, and we love to see that. So, if you do have your bearded Viking stuff and you have your bottles, I definitely reach out and tag us in some stuff, hit us up on the BVMC Instagrams and Facebooks and stuff like that, and tag yourself in the pictures.
Yeah, they're
Show us what your meetups look like.
Yeah, that's really what we want to see. We want to see the meetup. We want to see people getting together. We want to see some cheers in. Take your bottle with you, when you go to Colorado, or go to the Grand Canyon or whatever, and just
All
take
right.
some pictures and have some fun with it. We had a fun time with that, doing that at the golf tournament last weekend, and it turned out really well. We had fun.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Pretty soon we're going to be at a lot of events. You'll be able to see our event calendar on our website, and then if you subscribe to the newsletter and everything, you'll be able to see the upcoming events and everything that we're going to be at as well. So kind of stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe to it. We don't send out a whole bunch of crap. We send out a newsletter once a month.
Hmm.
So we're not sending you just wild text messages in the middle of the night telling you like all kinds of
Buy
crazy
our shit,
shit.
buy our shit, buy our
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. But you
You'll
will,
see.
but you will be, privy to, release dates and stuff like that, and you'll be first to know about, events and stuff like that, and maybe even, like, if you need to get like some early in on some tickets or something like that, we definitely will throw that out on the newsletter.
Yeah, and we have our 4 new flavors. Um,
Ooh,
we
yeah.
have we have three three in the bucket right now. Um, that are kind of that are going through their process, and our other one's going to be in the batch pretty soon. So be on the lookout. And it sounds like we're going to be doing release parties 4 at a time until all 15 are out there, guys. So be ready if you miss the grand
Look out.
opening. We got another
Yeah.
party coming.
Oh yeah, the parties are gonna be good. They're always a fun time. I think we should do a bonfire with every release.
We're going to have to cut
I
down some more
mean,
trees.
that bonfire was insane, dude. It was like as tall as a building when they started it, and
No,
it
it was
burned for
fun.
3 days straight. It
Yeah, it
was
was
pretty
good.
cool.
Most
It was
definitely.
pretty cool.
Well, should we jump into some men's mental health?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I know that you and I we've talked about legacy before, and JT and I have, but you and I haven't really talked about it uh, on the podcast. And I apologize, everybody, that I sound like I've been punched in the nose. It's allergy season out here, and you know, I know I look perfect, but I'm not.
Hey, man, if you're 99%,
you know,
we
I'm almost there.
love you.
You know, uh, yeah. So, kind of talking about your legacy. What do you hope for your legacy, and like, what are the types of things that you do to try and push your legacy forward or build your legacy, or do you give a fuck at all?
You know, I I have a hard time with legacy because I feel like that I don't want to set something like too high of a standard or an unattainable standard for for my offspring to try to to try to achieve. Um, I have gone down my own paths, some more favorable than others. But
Okay. All right.
you've been there.
We're in honesty corner.
Yes,
We're in the
we are.
circle of trust.
I mean, it's that time of night, man. But and so, but at the same time, like I feel like like if it came down to it, I would say that the biggest thing that I want to leave for my legacy is just do you. You know what I mean? I don't feel like um, success comes in dollars. I feel like and houses and toys and you know monetary possessions or whatever. I kind of feel like um, that comes in how you feel about yourself, how you feel about what you've achieved personally, and and how you've made others feel. And I guess that's if I were to say how do I want my legacy perceived, that would be the thing. I want I would want them to do them to the fullest, and if that runs into a wall, choose a new or choose a different direction, but just keep going, keep thriving, and keep, being genuine in all that you're doing, in all that you're trying to achieve, and just do something, you know what I mean? And just don't stay stagnant, and don't you know, be a lazy piece of shit. Like sometimes I'm a lazy piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like on a Sunday after, a 3-day bender, bro, I
Gotta
ain't doing
recover.
a damn thing. However,
Except for bugging the fuck out of me to see what I'm doing.
like, bro, breakfast. Because the
Breakfast.
only thing I wanted to do is drive out to your house for breakfast, and then I was just gonna sleep all day at your house. but 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 yeah, I mean, it's just kind of some of those things. Like I just don't waste your life doing nothing. I mean, make something of yourself. Make a memory for somebody. Do art, do music, have fun, something that somebody can look back on and smile about, because like I said, like I'm not perfect and I haven't done the most perfect things every single time. And I'm not afraid to fail, and I'm not afraid to start over. But at the same time, is I've never quit, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And never just kind of been oh, I give up. Nobody likes me. Nobody blah 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 blah, and done the poor me shit. You know what I mean? Put your fucking boots back on and go back to work. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. You know?
I can see that. Well, and like your girls are so low key that you could be the most popular person in the fucking world, and they'd just be like, eh.
Yeah, they don't
Eh,
give a shit.
eh. He's all right.
They barely found out like last year. Oh, you're the boss of Boss Graphic? Uh, yeah.
Dude, Sam found out
For
like
like
2 weeks
the
ago
last
after his tournament.
like what the fuck,
They're
man?
like, we're at Wingers. We're at Wingers, and after the tournament,
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
the kids menus came out. Like all the characters that you
Yeah,
designed and
yeah.
everything. They're like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, these are really cool characters. These are cool. Started talking about them and stuff. I was like, your Uncle Fred, he created those, right? They're like, what? Uncle Fred works for Wingers? I'm like, no, no, not really. I mean, kind of, but
Well, in a
no.
way, yeah.
I'm like, all the menus and all the shit that you see around here, and probably the names of some of the shit that's on the menu, like he came up with. It's on there, and they're like, oh, so he made all these up. So he draws like cartoons and stuff. I'm like, well, I mean, I guess if
Well,
you want him to, he
sometimes
can.
when he has to.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
he's getting paid to make cartoons, yeah, he drives the fuck out of them. So, and they're like, what does Uncle Fred do?
They just think I drink all the
Yeah,
weekends and like
yeah,
just sit at home and do nothing
just nothing.
until I come to your house. Like
Yeah, help cut the grass. Um, yeah, no. So I explained to him that what Boss Graphic was, and that you were the boss. And he goes, oh, he doesn't like work for anybody. He has his own company. I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what he does. He's like, Sam, specifically. He's like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. I like that. I was like, yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's like, holy shit, it's a
Yeah,
revelation.
yeah, holy shit.
Who
But yeah,
knew?
so that's kind of funny. So I mean, you know, talking about legacy and stuff like that, you're kind of the guy behind a lot of the graphics, especially in the Rocky Mountain states and a lot of different places. And people know the graphics; they've seen them a million times,
Mhm.
but they don't know who made them or
Right.
anything like that. So it's kind of a legacy in itself, especially for the people that do know you and know that you did those things. So I mean, it's you're not a man with a legacy without, you know, or a
Right.
man without a legacy or cool things that you've done.
Well, and those are
So
kind of cool things because like they're done, they're gonna be there. They'll last. And graphically speaking, um, they'll last forever somewhere.
mhm.
Um, and which is kind of a cool thought. But
I
you
don't know how
know,
much you think about that.
I don't think about it a ton because it's just we're on to the next project. You know what I mean? We're on to the next project. We're on to the next project. And one thing that like really used to bum me out, um, I know there's a lot of paper billboards that are still up now, but everybody's moving towards these digital billboards, and especially like in our metro area, Salt Lake, you know what I mean, Tooele, just kind of these metro areas, they're all going to digital billboards. So you do digital ads, and they're like kind of web ads, and they switch up, about every
Mhm.
15, 20 seconds or whatever. So you do this artwork, and it's fun to do, but it's there and it's gone, and it's there and it's gone.
Mhm.
Now with those printed billboards, they would be
There's
up.
some longevity for
Yeah, they
like
would be
6
up for like
months.
6 months through 3 months, a year sometimes if
Yeah,
it was
people would
somewhere
never people
outlying.
wouldn't buy them out, so they're
Yes,
still up. They're
so they
like
just sit
decaying.
there.
Looks like they're from the 50s now.
And that was super cool because like I would be able to drive by there, take a picture. It was like, hey, I did that artwork and whatever. But now it's just getting to the point to where like I never see my artwork in print or on the road or anywhere. Except for like now, like I get to go to Wingers and sit down and with the kids and stuff and look at the menus like, oh, and they know that. But the fun and like the the awe and everything, that's worn off with them. Like they're like, oh yeah. When
Cool,
are you gonna
Dad.
change these characters up, Dad?
Yeah,
Like
why
we've
do we
done this.
still have the kids menu, Dad? We can
Yeah.
read now.
Like we've done this fucking word search about 1,000 times. Like, when
Yeah.
are you gonna switch up the word search, Dad? It's like, I don't know. Whenever they ask, I don't pitch this stuff to them. It's just more work for me.
Well, how do you feel now about, I mean, this is definitely, we're not like a clothing brand. We were a swag company that promised to make mead for a while, but now we're a mead company that has swag.
Yeah, that
So
has swag.
how does that make you feel when you see, the shirts and hats and hoodies and stuff like that walking around or popping up randomly on your feed that somebody's wearing? Like, that's got to give you a
Um,
shot of, feel good drug, right?
Yeah, it does. And I can always say, like, I can always point out to my girls or my, or family or friends, just like, oh yeah, well I did that, that this and that's always fun, and that's always kind of a nice reminder, you know what I mean, that I actually did the work. Um, but I don't see it a ton. And I don't like it's I think the biggest time that I saw that, which was actually kind of cool, was so what was the opening on Friday? Or
Uh-huh.
no,
It's
was it
Thursday.
was it
Was
on
it
was it on
we opened on a
Thursday?
yeah, we opened on a Thursday.
Okay.
Right? No, when the
So
hell did we open?
no,
No, it
I
was a
think we
Friday.
opened on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, we opened
we
on a
got there
Friday.
Thursday. So what was cool to me to see was people coming on Saturday that already had like shirts and hats.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
cool.
fucking cool.
They were
Like
like,
they had
we
they
bought
had
this
they
yesterday. We're repping today.
yes, and they came back, and then like on Sunday, you're just like, well, I saw this guy in town, was wearing a bearded Viking, and I was like, what's that? And they're like, they're a booze shop, like like down on 72 or whatever. And then people came down, and that was really cool to hear, and that was really cool to see. Thing is though too is to think about it a little bit deeper is that, like, say, somebody came down and said, hey, I saw a guy wearing a bearded Viking shirt, and he told me it was this cool meadery or whatever. I don't know what that is, and what is this even about? And they came just on the strength of a graphic, you know.
Hmm.
um that that says a lot. And really that's kind of, the gratification that all the gratification that I need, you know what I mean, in the work that I've done. So it does, I guess, in a sense, it makes you think about, a legacy a little bit deeper than that, I mean, as far as an artist go, I mean, artists always want their stuff to outlive them. So hopefully, the artwork that I've done for just us and, my other clients alone outlives me. Um, but, I haven't done any Picassos or anything like that, but I may, you know.
I mean, you painted Vico's face pretty good. That could be your Picasso. That's your
It might be
that's
like
your Vico Lisa right there.
it's the correct. Yeah, I don't want.
the
I can't. I don't know. We might get canceled if I say the K word. But the
yeah, the
cult
Waco
leader,
kid.
yeah, the Waco kid.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely have more of a legacy than you think. Especially, talking about this company, we've called this company a legacy company more than once because we want to be able to pass it down and give it to the kids to fuck up. Um, and have them have them have something to be proud of that their dads built.
Hmm.
And because, I mean, let's face it, right now we are a full-blown company of dudes, and that we created it and we did it. And and now we have, the support, and we've always had the female support of, the wives and uh and everything like that. But and now we're starting to, we're going forward with like hiring and stuff like that.
Well, JT's
And
daughter is super involved. She was cutting jalapenos with Charlie for like 2 days
I know,
straight.
I
I
know, and
can't
that's the
even
thing is
imagine
like,
that.
so it's just a bunch of dudes that built it, and he wanted to be able to pass it on to his daughters. I wanted, the boys to be able to have something too. But what you have is a lasting stake in what we are and who we are, as far as, the influence of the graphics. And it's something that nobody's really done the way that we've done before, as far as the graphics and everything go. Because I mean, the shirt that you're wearing, the hats, the flags, the flag that I have right back there, that's all stuff that you've done. So, the, and we print a lot.
Yeah, we do. And the thing is like I don't want to print it unless it looks fucking cool. Like
Mhm.
if I'm not gonna fucking wear it, I don't expect anybody else to, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna
Right.
do stuff that I wear. Like I've told you this before, maybe not the audience, but literally I have like 12 shirts. Like they're like
Right. Yeah.
there's like 4 bearded Viking shirts, like 4 Boss Graphic shirts, and 4 club shirts, and that's all I
Yeah.
fucking wear.
I mean,
You
I
know
think
what I
I'm
mean?
wearing my newest T-shirt, and it's because I just
Hey,
got
it's a
done
ball
coaching
club.
baseball.
It's
Yeah, they
it's a
just,
ball club. Yeah, you have to wear that.
yeah,
They gotta know you're the coach.
yeah. So, other than just being the angry guy standing on third base.
Yeah, and it's kind of the thing is like try to design stuff that I wear that I think is cool and that everybody else will wear and will think is cool, and will wear it around their buddies, you know what I mean? And then they have a story to tell around it. Because if you have a bearded Viking shirt or a bearded Viking hoodie or something like that, you know something about the company. You either bought a bottle, you're friends of a friend of a friend, you
Oh yeah,
follow us on
we
the
know those
socials.
guys. We know those
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
And the thing is like even if you just know us by the socials or you've watched the cast a few times or whatever, and feel like you know us, you fucking know us, man. Like
Yeah, you know us.
there's not very many
No,
layers
no,
to any of us.
no. We're definitely
Like
not onions. We're we're like a walnut.
we're pretty fucking
There's like a
surface
there's like
level, man.
a yeah.
You don't have to dig too deep
We're
to get to our
like
cores.
a grain of rice. You soak us too long and we get a little soggy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
so yeah, I don't think you give yourself enough credit when it comes to the work
the
that you do and
legacy
stuff and the
type stuff.
legacy. Yeah, because I mean, God, look at that. You know, that's a pretty classic logo right there. Even the back
Yeah,
that you did, it's well thought out.
real
And
clean.
it's super detailed. And I mean, even you take some that's classic like that,
Yeah,
like the Jameson logo. I mean, still that stands up with the best of them when it
yeah,
comes to design and stuff like that. It's not just some cheeky ass picture of a dude that
yeah.
has whatever the fuck. It's simple, it's understated, and it's it's pretty.
No, I appreciate that, and those are the kind of things that, I don't think about because I just did it, you know what I mean? And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, 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 you like that. That works, that works." But I don't really think about, what I don't get a ton of other feedback like that kind of feedback. So I appreciate that, and that wasn't the thing that we talked about. You know what I mean? We don't want to be flamboyant. We don't want to be crazy off the top. I mean, I'd like to have foil on our labels at some point. When we when we can afford it, that'd be super cool. And some
I want to
die
have
cuts
scratch and
maybe
sniffs. Scratch and sniffs. So you can scratch and
for all
sniff
the
the mead.
flavors.
Yeah, dude. Like lick
Scratch
it.
and sniff it.
Yeah.
That smells like pear.
Everybody's just gonna be licking our bottles. Just scratch marks.
It's
Fuck
like,
it.
sir,
Can you
you
please
can't do that
stop
until
sniffing
you
you
buy
have to
it.
buy it
You
before you sniff
scratch it,
it.
you buy it, fella.
Yeah, dude. It should be on the label. You scratch it, you buy
Hmm.
it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
just think
I appreciate
It's
that. I don't, I don't think about that a ton myself. I just kind of do what I do and hope that people like it, you know.
well, and I think that's a it's a cool understatement too, right? Once it's done, it's done, and you don't really think about it after that. But just the stuff that the gentlemen around us do, I think is really important. And it's building, some of these guys are fucking badasses. Like
Oh, dude.
just
Like
absolute I mean, fucking
I feel
Charlie.
like,
Charlie's
dude.
fucking like SF fucking whoop your ass just by looking at you type of dude. The most energy in the fucking world, but you'd never fucking
Oh,
know it
it's
unless
like
he
a
told you.
like a Energizer rabbit, dude.
Oh, dude, I
Like
know.
the guy's just like 1,000. I can't imagine
But
what like how that guy even gets to sleep with
no,
all the
and
shit going on in his head.
you know what though, and the things that the things that man has done that nobody knows about, probably absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah.
hope one day I can get him absolutely smashed and hear some stories.
And just talk about, just
Yeah.
slow him
I'm
down
just
for
gonna
just a little
corner
bit.
him at a campfire one time with a bunch
He's
of
like,
whiskey, and
no, you don't have to
no,
go
I
yet. We
want you
talked
to
to
tell
Dottie.
me all
You
the
don't have
stories.
to go home. Yeah, I
I
want
called your
stories.
supervisor. She said that you can be here for another couple hours. She said you can sleep over.
Right.
No, but so there's a lot of legacy definitely that sits. I don't know how to say this, within the company, but outside the company. People that have done some really cool shit
Mhm.
outside of the company that are now part of the company that are doing really cool shit. And we talked about it earlier about we couldn't do it without all those pieces.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think that that's going to end up being part of the legacy one day. And we are talking about your individual legacy. Uh,
What about you? What about you? I don't mean to cut you off if you were getting into something, but what do you think? What do you think? What do you feel like? Is there like a specific legacy that you want to leave as far as like maybe like on paper or in action or in thought with your next of kin?
I don't know. They'll probably like at my funeral be like, he knew a lot of really weird shit about a lot of weird shit. I
He
don't
knew
know.
a little bit about everything and a lot about a few things that I don't even want to get into.
Right. Like I don't really know, Uh, and with the boys it's so hard because, everybody I think growing up, especially with a father or a strong male figure, you know, they're you get to be a hero, right?
Yeah.
Without actually doing anything.
Yeah, you just have to
So,
wake up,
yeah, you wake up, take care of them, do cool shit every once in a while,
make
and
them eggs.
you're the
Yeah.
coolest fucking guy out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I would say that, um, fuck, I don't really know what my legacy would be. I don't do cool shit with my hands. Um, I don't create. Um, you know, I can't draw for shit. Spell check is my best friend, but I am good with words, spoken word. But I don't really know. I think that I'm always there for my boys.
Mhm.
As far as just talking about the boys and what they're doing, what I can teach them. Baseball's huge to them now, and it might not be huge to them forever. Um, but it's definitely one of the big things now. Who knows if it'll be a lasting legacy or not? I think that I don't know. Maybe one day they'll look back on it and say they had a great time, and it was some of the best worst times they ever had. You know,
Well, I
uh,
think that something that I mean you may overlook and just like you said with me is and you kind of do this naturally and sometimes you don't want to do it. I get it. And but sometimes it's the only thing you want to do is just get people together share your space, share what you have, and make people laugh and smile. And you're so like you're so unforced natural at that, at just doing that. um I think that that may be something that, I don't know, that and I think that, maybe it's not something that you need to, focus on all the time, because I don't think it's anything that you've ever really focused on. It's just been like, well, this is natural, this is what's happening, this is what's going on. And wanted to make people feel comfortable, wanted to make people laugh, wanted to, share what you have and share what you've gained with, other people. And I think that that's is very selfless with how um how outside people may perceive you. You know what I mean? Outside of the family or your close friends, or, close acquaintances, and, business partners or whatever.
Well, and like maybe that's more of like a persona, or maybe not persona, but
Is a
uh
character trait.
like a character trait,
Hmm.
not so much like a legacy. I don't know. I don't
But
know if
if
they're, are they one and the same? I don't know. I don't really know. We'd have to kind of dive deeper into that, but it's it's really hard for me to think about legacy type of thing, because you have you have great men that did great things by the time that they're 35. Fucking people that gave the finger to the fucking, the Iron Throne in England and said, "Fuck you, we're starting our own country" at like 35, and then fought a war. And they're like, "Yeah, I'm president now,
yeah,
bitch."
but
Like that type of shit. Like great dudes doing great things, but and it's kind of all relative when it comes to that type of
yeah, I
stuff.
mean, would you want to throw over a country right now? Yeah, it'd be a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of people now.
Do you want your own cult following? I mean, doesn't everybody? But at the same
No, not really.
time, but
It's a
at
lot
the
of
same
mouths to
time,
feed.
yeah,
It's a
then
lot
you
of
got to
punch
feed
to
them all.
mix.
It's a lot of mead to make.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think that, you know, not being a creator or anything like that, I think that kind of, that doesn't make a lasting legacy, right? We're only at what, two generations away from not being remembered anyway.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Our
Yeah.
kids, our kids' kids, and that's pretty much it, right? So,
Yeah.
you know,
That's kind of a scary thought though, man. Um I when I heard that, I thought, well, what the fuck are we doing this for then? You know what I mean?
just
I said,
like
well,
LIVIN,
yeah, yeah, I don't know, man.
let's
And
chase
I
fat
guess it's
chicks,
just
drink
for
whiskey, get blasted on mead,
yeah,
and
like
smoke as much as we can.
let's just all turn into Jim Morrison, man, and say
Yeah,
fuck it. Just
like
break
we're
on
already
through to
past the
the other
20,
side, man.
past the 27 club.
Yeah, that brings up a point though. Like we look at there I know we weren't going to talk about breaking news or whatever, but there was that whole thing with Elvis's property. Um,
Oh yeah, Never Never,
what the
or not
fuck's it
Never
called?
Neverland, Graceland.
Graceland. Yeah, it might as well be Never Neverland.
Yeah.
But his granddaughter, you know, I mean, he was literally almost like, and she's an actress and whatever, but
Is
her
she?
mom's dead. Yeah, and
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, but her mom's dead, and so yeah, they were trying to put a lien. This fake company or whatever was trying to put a lien on Graceland, and she's like, bullshit. And apparently, like, she's pretty badass, and went back and like um challenged all these fucking fake ass documents or whatever. So there's a hold right now on Graceland being sold. But you figure, I mean, that's two generations away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's kind of a scary thought. I mean, because
right,
I
but I
would.
mean, you're talking about fucking Elvis,
He's
though.
talking about Elvis.
Yeah,
How could that
I'm a
place even be in question of being gone ever? You know what I
right,
mean?
and that's the thing is like he's got a granddaughter that's fighting over his legacy.
Hmm.
I
Think my
highly doubt.
granddaughter's gonna give
I
two
highly
shits
doubt.
about me?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, they're gonna be like, well, Grandpa didn't have enough medals for me to even fucking save. He was in the Marine Corps. That's cool. Uh,
That's cool. He
helped start
fought
a
for our
mead company.
country.
What did he really fucking do?
I don't know.
Sat in front of a microphone and drank whiskey with his buddies. Um, Grandpa was an asshole. No, you know what I mean? Like, as far as legacy goes, I don't know. I'm kind of clapped out on legacy. Um,
I mean,
you
you
know,
got
I'll have,
time. It's
I'll
not
have,
like you're. It's not like you're going anywhere anytime soon.
yeah, who fucking knows? But yeah, I think that, yeah, for me, like currently, I feel like, and I don't really dwell too much on it because whatever. But yeah, we got some cool shit, and we do some cool stuff. But that's more, I think, of like a thought or an aura or an energy, um,
Hmm.
less about a lasting thing that is going to maybe leave an impression on anybody else. You know, it'll leave an impression on your family and close friends and stuff like that. But nothing that, like, if I died tomorrow, there's not going to be anything that's outlasting other than that memory of good times and you
Well,
know
yeah, in the memory
telling
of
cheap
you.
jokes and stuff like that.
Telling titty jokes.
You know,
Well, and another thing though is too is like, I really kind of I thought about this like when my fucking dwelling went up in flames like fucking twice. You know what I mean? There's like my artwork like in papers, and then there my computers and shit like this like literally watched it go up in flames twice. And I'm like, all the work that I've done for all this time could go up in flames at any fucking second, and no one's gonna ever see it again, and no one's gonna fucking remember it after 10 years. You know what I mean? So, I mean, is a legacy even worth, I don't know, striving for? I mean, we could pass it on, and we can pass on our knowledge, and I guess maybe that might be the stronger point. Like, I've taught Olive how to kind of look at things in a little bit different way, and now she's kind of flourishing as being, her own sort of artist. And and I'll look at her stuff and it's like, well, why didn't you do it this way? She's like, well, I wanted to do it this way because of this and this and this. And I'm like, damn, like, you already
who'd have,
see things
who'd
in
have
even
thunk
a
it?
higher, yeah, in even a higher way that I wouldn't even have thought of. So, I mean, that's a better legacy for me to leave than any artwork I've created. You know what I mean? Is just to be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? That is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I taught you this one thing 10 fucking years ago, and now you're drawing your own characters and you're doing this off just this one little, you know,
Morsel.
yeah, this one little morsel, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we've gone down the rabbit hole of, is what we've done. So maybe like what we've said in the past is it's not the things that you can give them, but the things that you can teach them. That
I think that,
that actually is the lasting legacy. That is something to be passed on, something that's worth it.
well, yeah. I mean, because that's they're going to pass that on, and they're going to pass that on, and they're going to pass that on and pass, and that will, hopefully never die. You know what I mean? Some of those lessons and some of those teachings and some of those fucking titty jokes. You know what I mean? They might just get fucking passed on, and but jokes aside, like, just your compassion for others when you don't look like an approachable guy, but at the same time, like, you got a passion to help people, and you got a passion to bring people together, you got a passion to make people laugh, and you know what I mean, and make people feel welcome. And that's, you know what I mean. And if you can pass that on just a tiny bit, I mean, that's legacy to me, you know what I mean? And if the kids are willing to do that, and if they have that in them, and you can kind of, you know, plant a seed with that in them that grows, hell, I mean, that's as good or better than anything else that I can think of, you know what I mean? Monetary wise or anything else.
It's a weird life we live.
It is, because, you can be a rich man, you can be a rich man in, feeling and fullness and wealth, sitting on a bench, with, $20 in your pocket, or you can be, and have gratitude over that, or you can be a rich man in wealth with, a mansion surrounding you, um, as well. So it's all kind of relative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I guess kind of it breaks down as what do you want to be remembered for?
Hmm.
Um, you know, for, I guess if we are going to talk about, you're definitely going to be remembered for your cheeky antics and, a bunch of the artwork and stuff that's still here, and, the way that you were around the kids and things like that, and things that, they could learn, and the shit talk that they could talk. And, that might be more important than any, lasting legacy or Google search, right?
Right.
So, and I think, and, not speaking for Vico, but speaking about him, starting the company, he wants the company to be his legacy. So, you know, however long the spark stays lit, which I think is going to be a very long time, that will be a forever legacy for him and the crew, right?
Hmm.
So, and then, the personal legacy, I think, that has to do with, more personal, like your kids, your family, things like that. So maybe it's a little bit different than we originally sought to talk about
I think
when we
so.
started when we started.
I think so, because legacy. I think legacy is relative. You know what I mean? Legacy is relative to how you think. You know, it should be left. And we think about, when you talked about legacy, when we were doing um the topics for today, I thought about, our grandparents. You know what I mean? Did they think about legacy at all? Did they think about what they wanted us to remember them by? Did they leave things behind, for us to remember them by, specifically? I mean, did they try to achieve certain goals for us to remember them by as their legacy? Um, and I don't know. Like, I think they were just themselves, and um,
I mean, they did some
doing
cool shit without
they
trying.
they did some super cool shit without trying, and that was really cool, because um, whether they thought about it or not, I mean, they did these things. It was super cool things, and it might not be cool to somebody else, but it's really cool to us, and we hold those things, um, to heart, and they're endearing to us. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I will not get rid of that fucking wedge. Like, that's grandpa's wedge, bro. And I will fucking shoot with that fucker,
Oh
no
yeah,
matter how
yeah, the
shitty
golf
I
wedge,
am
yeah.
with it. Yeah, it's like the 59. And it's a terrible club, and it's dead as shit, but I'm still gonna fucking hit with that thing because it's grandpa's club. And it's the perfect fucking length for me, you know what I mean? And it's a great weight and all that. And it's like if grandpa never did anything else for me, that's his legacy, is that fucking wedge, man. Because that
Yeah,
every single time I look at my bag, there's that wedge. You know what I mean? And that's Grandpa's wedge, and I'm gonna use that fucking wedge. From 60 out or 100 out, I'm using that
Still gonna
fucking
fuck it
wedge,
up.
and still gonna fuck it up.
That is
But
the
I
beauty of
never, I
golf.
never golfed with him. I never saw him golf. I didn't know. I don't know how good or shitty of a golfer he was. Probably same with us, just scratch and shitty and
Just drunk as
pissed
fuck.
off and drunk half the time.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah, it's a weird thing to think about too. Especially when it comes to generational stuff. And trying not to fuck it up, right?
yeah, try not to fuck it up.
And we have so many
Just trying to be
tools.
a complete fucking shitbag.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, and kind of like Mike said, this is his video diary. And that's what he uses the two mics live thing for. He's like, God, if I don't have anything left, people can come back and look at this and say, hey, that dude is an asshole, or that dude is pretty cool and he was smart.
Right.
And that's it's kind of a cool way to look at what we're doing here, with the podcast, and we've said that before,
Hmm.
because it's something that, if we make it to 52 episodes, they can look back at 52 episodes and say, okay, well, that was, the kids could be like, well, that was my dad, that was my grandpa, that was, my great uncle,
Yeah, it was
that
my
type of
uncle. Yeah.
shit. That was, you know, my uncle's best friend or my grandpa's best friend, that type of stuff. And hey, those guys weren't so bad. They might have been onto something. Or just be able to go back and look at it and see how far the fuck off we were in 10 years or 5 years or 2 years, and
Well,
just
I
be
don't.
like,
We're not gonna be that far off.
I don't know, maybe not,
Oh
but
fuck.
we'll get to see it. We'll get
But
to
at the
relive
same
it.
time, though,
Somebody will pull their shovel out and they're gonna dig it up. And this is a totally different type of archaeology when it comes to,
oh yeah,
holy shit,
oh
they're
yeah.
on TV or they're on whatever.
And like they actually made the effort to do this, and that's it. I hadn't thought about that. You mentioned that to me, what Mike said, and I hadn't really thought that deep on it. But really, you can look back at it. Like Olive always asks me, she's like, whenever we cast, she's like, oh, you're on the cast, and she's super excited because like she has her favorite podcasters and she has her favorite um voiceover actors and stuff like this. But I won't let her listen to us right now. Like we're cut off to
Right,
her right now.
right.
And so, maybe in another 5 or 6 years, then I'll let her start listening to us. But at the same time, like, we say fuck a lot. We do all this kind of stuff. We do this. And, but at the same time, she doesn't need to know this side of me yet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they
There's
don't.
there's some things that she doesn't need to know about her father, um, until we're friends. You know what I mean? When we get
Yeah,
to that friend state, then I can start opening these doors up to her, because I can open up, in those ways, one on one, and she doesn't
hmm
have to find him out, videos. It's like, oh, dad likes tits. Like, yeah,
yeah. Well,
yeah, kinda.
yeah.
You
Well,
know what I
yeah, that
mean?
goes without saying. Yeah, no, that is definitely a different point too, and it was funny because everybody was really excited, um, when the last two Mike's Live episode that we were on, when it hit like 65 or 70,000 views or
Yeah,
something
it
like
was.
that,
Yeah,
and like
I think it went to
and
like 72 or something like that.
yeah, and like the the mics, they got that podcast. It has some serious gas, right?
Yeah.
They're moving and grooving. They're like a freaking rocket, and it was awesome. And Sam got to see that, and then he goes, "Well, how many people saw it?" And then he told him how many people saw it. And he's like, "Holy crap, Dad, that's pretty cool." He's like, "You're famous." I was like, "No, I'm not. The mics are famous." I was like, "Is their
Right.
podcast?" They just got to see some random dude talk from a booze company out in the middle of nowhere in the West.
Mhm.
Whether the opinions were valued or whether they weren't, who's to know, right?
Doesn't
But
matter.
he
Yeah.
thought that was cool, and so he, getting gassed up by your 9-year old was pretty
You know,
cool.
you know.
But he's
But
like, Dad.
does he know what 70,000 people look
Oh yeah,
like?
oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
He has a good idea of, just because he's a kid, so he watches YouTube and stuff like that, and watches these guys every once in a while play video games and stuff like that, and just so different podcasts and stuff like that, and he sees the views, and he's very cognitive of those types of things. So that was kind of cool. He's like, holy crap, Dad, like that's pretty cool. That's a lot of people. What now? I'm like, nothing, dude. We just go on about our lives, and
Yeah.
it nothing changes us. And then, Justine, I was like, yeah, it's like 70,000 people. And she's like, well, you're still an idiot. I'm like, ma'am, you know,
Ah, thank you.
and she's like, yeah, good job. Just piggybacking
Doing
off
my
of
best,
Mike.
babe.
Yeah, I'm like, well, Mike's cool dude. He let us on, but it's just,
Well,
you know,
that's what you need though. Like,
right, exactly.
you need to
You get
you need
gassed
to
up by your
humble your
9-year-old. Your
you're
wife's like, shut
still
the
an
fuck
idiot.
up. No, it's the
She's like,
best,
"Well,
but
I'm running late today. I'm not making your eggs." Fuck. We
damn it.
just got 70,000 views. Yeah.
Right. She's like, yeah, well, that's not paying the bills, asshole. Um, but like, those guys are really cool because they're willing to gas up and collab and hang out with other dudes that are like-minded, that they see as quality dudes. And
Hmm.
we see that counterpoint in them being quality dudes, and are wanting to take each other along for the ride. And that is a cool part about the culture that we're building and the people that we're surrounding ourselves with, and trying to make sure that everybody does good, that
Right.
everybody's on that track, and everybody's going to take off.
Well, we've had that mindset forever. It's a one win, we all win type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I've always been of that mindset. And then you like the old man started getting his fucking lotto tickets, and we're shelling him out $20 a week, you know what I mean, for the fucking lotto tickets and
Right.
stuff like that. And it's the same thing. It's like it's one win, we all win. You know what I mean? We get it. We share in the wealth. We,
Yeah.
something great happens to one of us, we're grabbing, everybody along for the ride. And it's just like, I
Yeah.
ain't doing this by myself. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. Fuck,
Yeah.
let's get in here. Figure out how the fuck we can fuck this up together.
Exactly. Yeah. Where we go one,
You
we
know what
go
I mean?
all. Yeah.
It's
And,
like, I'm
and
not
it's
just gonna run this thing down in flames
yeah.
myself. Like, come on.
I'm not gonna shoot this in the face by itself. Let's go. Come on, fuckers, grab your guns.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's kind of it's a cool sentiment, and it shows the character of men that are still out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's very telling in itself. And I think that circling back, has a lot to do with legacy, is the type of person you are, the type of person that you surround yourself with, and the type of people that you want to take along with you
Hmm.
when it goes to the top.
Well, and
And
we've all. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, for people like that, you want them to go there, not because they're going to take you, but you're excited for them. And we've talked about in the past, gassing each other up, and getting excited and happy for those people that are around you that are doing good, instead of talking shit about them and talking them
Yes,
down.
yes. That's
And that's a
exactly what I was
huge
gonna
thing.
say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. When you are a voluntary fucking cheerleader for strong fucking like-minded men,
Hmm.
just fucking winning. whether they're taking you along or not, just fucking cheering for the squad, bro. And
Right.
that's something that, oh my God, is so lost in this me. I need this, I need that. I'm not comfortable with your comment fucking culture. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's not about you. It's about the squad. And
Right.
it's about what you can learn from the squad. And if you can teach the squad, teach the squad. But let's all fucking be as one, and and push each other along when we can, and and don't be afraid to fucking learn something, and grab the heels of a man who can fucking teach you some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and if you
there's no
get
fucking shame in that. Come
right,
on.
and if you get taken along, you get taken along. If not, fuck it, crack beers and hang out later, and be happy for the
Fuck, you
dudes
made a
that fucking
mistake.
made it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the coolest fucking part ever, dude. Is like, especially with guys like that, just using that as an example, is those are the kind of people you want to be around. And whether you get taken along or not, it's not going to stop me from flying to Jersey and fucking cracking cold ones. You
seriously.
know what I mean? And that's the coolest shit ever.
Well, I mean, that's one of the coolest things that I've seen. Like, I wasn't a serviceman. I tried to be, couldn't be, TBI shit. But
You got a TBI before you got blown up, you pussy.
right. Could I have at least been in a fucking
You bum.
explosion? You bum. Yeah, the fucking truck didn't even explode, man. If the gas tank would have blew up,
Yeah,
it would have like, like Y50 or something like that, or the
right.
Fall Guy, where he
Something
just,
cool.
something super cool. That would have been fun, but no, it didn't even blow up. But so like, just being around you guys is one of those things that is a reminder of just the camaraderie and the love my brother and support my brother no matter what culture, that I think that the men nowadays have lost. Like just even like in the ball culture, like I've got boys that we haven't seen each other in 20 years. You see them on the street, we play ball together. um you're hugging that guy, you're talking about him, you're talking about the old days for a little bit. Hey, how's your family, how's this going on? And what do you need? You need anything? You good? You okay? Maybe you hook up later and you guys swap out some stuff or whatever you need to do. But it's kind of one of those things. It's that team mentality, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's one of the things that I really enjoy, and I really kind of envy about you guys that were, in the Corps or in this service, you know what I mean? That had been through some shit, and you guys are just fucking locked in. Like, locked the fuck in. Like, you can almost just look at a guy from across the room and know he's a fucking service guy. And we just go chat with him, and right off the bat, we're like this. Like, especially anytime I'm with you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that is definitely a cool thing, and I envy the kind of relationships you had with the ball players that you played with, because I think that kind of culture and that camaraderie was kind of gone with the generation that I came up in.
Mhm.
Because we were definitely some good ball players, but it was kind of more, one for all,
Yeah,
and not
competition
so much.
against each other.
Yeah, and those times that we came together, we fucking rocked the shit, and we
Mhm.
were we were all good together. But that sense of pride and camaraderie, I think, was not as strong. I think that I had more uh, encounters with people that you played with, and hung out with people that you played with in the past 15 years, 10 years,
Well, you played
or
softball
13.
with or something with a bunch of guys that I play ball with, didn't you, for a couple
Yeah,
years?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and the thing is they just took me on the basis that I was fucking Big Al, and that I was at the baseball park. They're like, well, he probably knows what he's doing. And, they took me on the
This
fucking,
guy almost went all state. Yeah, we'll let him
yeah,
let him on the
this guy,
squad.
we'll let him hit.
He
But like,
swings for the fence. Watch out,
fuck,
fuckers.
even fucking, bringing up fucking Josh, fucking Johnston, fucking 98 mile per hour fastball guy that
God,
hucked a fucking million, eh, and what he
I
got drafted by
hated
the
it.
Sox. But
Yeah.
I saw him at a fucking bar and hung out and went and fucking drank with him, and fucking called his brother that was in like Iraq at the time that I played ball with, just shit like that. Like I fucking
Like,
hung
what are
out
you
with,
doing, bro? Guess who I'm
guess who the
hanging
fuck
out
I'm with?
with?
Fucking video chat, fucking yeah,
I'm with
fucking.
this fucking
We're
all-star.
Skyping, yeah, Skyping.
Skyping, yeah. This was like 2001.
Yeah, and that was the funny part about it. Is I had more in
Oh,
common with those
I
dudes than I did the dudes that were my age.
dude, I hated that I loved Johnston so much. I loved that guy with like my whole being, but he beat the shit out of me behind the plate. But I I didn't have as much fun catching off anybody else but him. Like
Well, and it was
you know how you I mean, only ball players will kind of know this, and a lot of pitchers and catchers. But you know how you get in mental sync with your,
yeah,
if you're catching, you get
you're
in
there,
mental sync with your catcher, or if you're catching, you get in
pitcher,
mental sync
yeah.
with your pitcher, and vice versa. Um, but God, that mental sync with him and I was dynamite, and and like I could say "fuck you" with without saying it verbally. You know what I mean?
Just by the way you dropped your glove.
Exactly.
And he's just like, oh.
The way, like I'd make him hit somebody, and like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, you like, you want to play this fucking game? We're gonna play this fucking game.
Yeah, we're gonna play this whole fucking
start
thing.
start fucking hitting my spots and stop bruising up my thighs, you fucking asshole.
Yeah,
But
and
when he
it's
was, he was on. The guy was just a monster.
well, and
98 in fucking high school, and
that's
he's
the
what?
thing.
What was he? 6'3" or 6'4"? Just all
Yeah,
of this lanky
he's
ass
all arms and
fucking
legs,
shit, all
all
arms and
arms and
legs,
legs.
just gassing fucking
Yeah,
fools, dude. It was insane.
pulling in like things like that. It's funny because like you get a sense of that playing ball where it's you get the camaraderie of of some of the best times that we ever had were some of the worst times that we lived through. I'm paraphrasing. I think I butchered that saying, but that's more or less what it is you some of the worst times you ever had were some of the best times.
Right,
Looking
right.
back on it.
Looking back on it, yeah, because you thought they were the fucking worst at the time. And when it's like 103 degrees out, you're down by fucking 10. And this motherfucker brings in Johnston to fucking close out the game. When this guy's has a shit week already, and he only has an inning and a half. Like, and he's pissed off about even being up there. So he's gonna fucking gash you and beat you up. Um, you know, and you're cursing the fucking automotive coach because you're fucking 16. This is your first fucking year in automotive. Like, there was it's just a whole bunch of shit on top of a whole bunch of
Yeah.
shit,
You're like,
a whole
oh
bunch of
sweet, I
shit.
got 4 more years of this. This is gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
But but honestly, bro, I honestly wouldn't give anything to go back and live those days because they were the worst days that I could think of.
But the best times you ever had.
But the best times I ever had, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hands
and
fucking
I,
down,
I
dude.
think like
Hands down.
after that statement that you just made about automotive and everything, I think that since I've been see what year it's 24. Um I think I lived my life in fours. It's like
I've thought about
the
that
4 years leading
before.
up to high school, the 4 years of high school, they were fucking awesome. I was awesome in high school. 4 years in the Marine Corps, first four out, that sucked donkey balls. But those last two, those four, things started looking up.
Not too bad. Not
And
too
then just
bad.
the 4 and 4 after that, it worked out. And
Those
you know,
fours get better though. I think they've
yeah,
gotten better and better, right?
the fours have definitely gotten better. And going back to the topic, the legacy, and for those that are listening, we're talking about our personal experiences and kind of the shitty times and strife that we've gone through that have made fun times that we can talk about now. And it sounds like we might have digressed off of legacy, but seriously, these things are part of your legacy. The
They
things
are.
that you've done and the things that you've been through create your legacy and kind of create how you move forward in life and the outlook that you have on it. And one of the best sayings that I ever heard, and I don't remember who the fuck I heard it from, was probably when I was 18, getting ready to go into the Marine Corps, and it was, you can do anything for 5 minutes.
Mm.
And after that 5 minutes, you can start over and you can do anything else for 5 minutes.
Ah, fuck.
And
Sounds like the worst thing ever.
it does, but it's like the best piece of advice ever.
But yeah,
Because after that 5 minutes,
just take it
you
in little
can, yeah,
chunks.
you're taking the micro approach of it, 5 minutes at a time, 5 minutes at a time. And you're going to get through it. You're going to make it through it. And then you get, all of a sudden you look up and you're 2 years down the road.
Yeah,
But you can fight through the trenches and anything that you're doing for 5 minutes at a time.
I agree.
And I would definitely, like to pass that on as a piece of advice, a piece of wisdom. Is it, yeah, you can do anything for 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
anything for 5 minutes. And those 5 minutes at a time will get you, they'll get you somewhere.
Well,
They'll get you to where you want to be as long as you're willing to work hard and push forward.
exactly. Like as long as you have the wherewithal, and that's the thing. Like the push hard, the go, the never give up, the never quit, um, type mentality. I think
I
it goes along with that, and
just
it's
thought,
true. It's very true.
of the funniest shit, and I think that you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because this was before the TBI. Um, do you remember that picture that Dr. Coffee used to show of the frog choking the stork that was eating it?
No, vaguely. Like I remember there
There's just
was
a black and white picture.
there was a thing. Yeah, I don't remember that exact that exact metaphor that he was
So
doing.
it was basically just a printout, a black and white printout, and it was a picture of a stork or a big bird eating a frog. But the frog was in his mouth, getting ready to go down his neck, but he's choking the stork out. And son of a bitch, that is like a big ass euphemism for life. Just choke out whatever's trying to fucking eat you or swallow you up. And you know what? It's going to spit you out. You're going to be able to keep going.
Yeah.
And that bird's going to tell its friends about you.
Like
Don't
don't chew on that guy.
don't try and do
Don't
that.
chew on that guy.
But
I 1000% agree.
kind of a funny way to look at it now. I think it was like 5th grade.
Well, I mean, Dr. Coffee was no joke. You like back then, he was teaching us a lot of fucking life lessons back then.
Yeah,
You
who'd have
know,
thunk it? Yeah.
I don't was he a serviceman? Seems like he would have been.
I have no fucking I mean, he was a doctor, so
I hope he was.
I
Maybe he
hope
was a
he got his
corpsman, bro.
doctorate in slaying bodies. Fuck, I think
Maybe he was a corpsman, bro.
he's
And then
still
they
kicking.
just
I'm gonna have to fucking reach out and ask.
yeah, you're gonna have to look him up, bro. He's still he cannot. Well, Montoya's still kicking. She's a olives teacher this year.
Yeah, no, he's still
Yeah.
out there.
So
He's still laying down
he's
hate and discontent, yelling at kids that are on the grass.
Yeah, just munching on the fingers, just pissed off at fucking everybody
Just
walking down the
stretching out,
fucking.
stretching out with his foot on a desk.
They're so funny, man. I love those old teachers that taught you fucking solid fucking lessons,
That
man.
they taught you stuff.
So great. Yeah, that you actually l- like learned life lessons from. And that's, that's the shit that you don't get in high school. Like
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
they don't they don't they don't have a life class like here here's life. Like they should from like middle of junior year all the way through your senior year, it should just be adult life prep. You know what
Balancing
I'm saying?
checkbooks,
Yeah,
credit scores.
like learning how to drive stick. Like a lot of shit that you just gotta know that you never knew you had to know until you got out of high school. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, like
how to
I'm not,
like write a resume, job interview prep, all this kind of just life prep shit.
yeah,
How to
no,
cook fucking scrambled eggs. Like half these people don't even know. Like you know, it's wild
scary.
that how unprepared you are when you get out of high school, and how unprepared these kids are going to be even now, like tenfold
Yeah,
nowadays,
yeah.
because they have had everything fucking handed to them. And I mean, God forbid they have to, they get kicked out of their parents' house. Like, what the fuck they gonna do? They're gonna starve, and then they're gonna go march the capitals. He's like, you should cook me eggs. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Well, so
Go
like,
cook your own shit.
and this is a topic worthy of going down, and so we'll kind of close out on the
The legacy.
the legacy talk, because I mean, I guess it could be construed as part of that, but at the same time, definitely worried, and it could be that we've hit our old man stride. So to
I'm
wrap,
not even mad about that though. Are
no,
you?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if you're quite there
It's
yet.
sixes because fuck it all.
I'd
Um,
definitely get off my grass at this point.
yeah, don't touch it. Pull my weeds. No, but so I think the legacy is important, and I think to sum it up in a, and put a little bow on it, that maybe we've discovered through talking about it, that maybe the legacy is not what you can leave people behind or what they can find in a Google search, but the knowledge that you've passed on,
Hmm.
maybe.
I think that's very valid. Yeah,
So I think that's important. I think that's important to every man's mental health, because I don't think that we sit and dwell on it. I know I don't, but I think that, sometimes in those dark places, you you might think about it sometimes when you're sitting alone,
I do. Like,
drinking a
I
beer by
wonder about,
yourself or
yeah, I wonder about my
whatever.
worth. I wonder about, what my children think of me. I wonder about like what my family thinks of me. Like, I've done some cool shit, but I've fucked up a lot too. And those things fucking weigh on you, especially like when you're drinking alone, you know what I mean? Or,
Hmm.
or you just got left by your wife or your girlfriend, or your dog just died, you know what I mean? These are things that, kind of really weigh on you. And you're right. I think that that's kind of where that conversation needs to go, is it's not, you know, the tangible and touchable things that you can leave behind is your legacy. It's what you can teach them from, your own experience and your own learning, and what you can pass down as far as those lessons. I mean, I think those things are the kind of more important things, and the more important things that, that they will hold on to. You know what I mean?
Well, I think an important statement would be that it's never too late
Oh
to
yeah. Oh
it's never
yeah.
too late. And like, even if you don't feel like you've had an impact, or you've taught, or you're feeling down about yourself, or anything like that, it's still not too late. And just because you've messed up in the past doesn't mean that it's time to check out and
Mm-hmm.
have that be your legacy. Have your legacy be that person that brought themselves back and that person that passed on that that knowledge and that wisdom to the people around you, your kids. Be that person that turns it around
Mm-hmm.
and that person that pulled yourself up.
And that person that never quit, and that person that just kept plugging and went through the mud and trenches and held you this high, you know what I mean? So you didn't
Yeah,
get wet, and and did those things, you know what I mean? And I think that that's more of the you know the the blue and red ribbons that we need to put on people than the monetary stuff,
yeah. No, I think that makes sense. I think that we started out somewhere and we ended another place, which is cool. You get
that
to
was that was that
it's
was that
it's
was that was a
the
fun.
evolution of thought, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah, that was a fun roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
It went in a lot of different
hang with
directions.
us, and we're gonna start somewhere and end up another place in other episodes too. But
That's what we love about this cast, because
yeah,
there's no boundaries.
we should definitely move
There's
on
no
though
walls.
to the kids
Yeah,
because
let's do it.
I think it is definitely a current topic that's going on right now, and I hate to say that we've hit the old man phase, or like, what the fuck are you kids doing? Get off my grass type of shit. But I'd say that I probably hit it sooner than most. But
You've been there like for
holy
like
fuck,
12 years.
I've just,
like
I just,
before you even had fucking flip, dude.
just fucking
You're
angry,
already there.
just so angry about what the fuck is going on.
Can you hear me?
Are you ready to keep rolling, baby?
Could you hear me? Keep it on. Did you hear that Limp Bizkit's on tour?
Yeah.
Did you see Fred Durst coming out in a cowboy shirt, Wranglers, and a fucking cowboy hat?
Oh, dude, that guy is fantastic. Did you see him coming out looking like the old dude from Dragon Ball Z?
I did not. I
Oh
did
yeah.
not. I
Keep
did
on
not.
rolling, baby.
Dude, Durst is a nut,
Dude, I
bro.
fucking love that guy.
Like I saw him. There was a bunch of videos with him with like the full white beard.
Oh
Which
yeah.
how the fuck is it all white right now? Like he's Spawn's age, isn't he?
I don't even know. I have to look up how old
He's
Fred Durst is.
he's I mean maybe 55, but like for a full white fucking beard.
He is 53. He's older than Bond. Keep
Yeah, but
on rolling, baby.
53.
You know what though?
He
He
can't have an
might.
all white beard for fucking
Uh,
53.
it looks
That looks like a
legit.
70 years old
You
beard.
know,
It does look legit though.
the
Yeah.
thing is though
And he's
about
been
Durst,
bald for a fucking minute. He's been
as
bald since like 2000.
as long as Flynn has.
As long,
Ah,
yeah, as long as Flynn has.
yeah.
Flynn's been bald since '97, bro. He just
Since he was like 18,
he just started buzzing
since
that
he
shit off.
joined the Air National Guard.
Yeah, it was just too much for him.
So we're we're getting into this segment about talking about the kids and how I've definitely hit the old patch, the old maybe not the old man patch, but the old, like, what the fuck is going on with these kids? And you bring up
Okay.
Fred Durst, and I'm thinking that he could get these kids through.
Are we? Is this just a preempt
No, I'm thinking
to what
no,
you want me to start
no,
like
I'm thinking
going on, or
no.
knowing that like no, we're
We're
diving
rolling.
in now?
We are rolling,
We're
baby.
rolling, baby. Dude, I don't disagree that
I
Fred Durst could be like the
he could be carrying the torch right now.
yeah, he could be like the the 2026 like alt rock Jesus.
So
I I don't. I would not put that past him.
I saw a
I don't
video.
want to shoulder him with that right now. So if you're listening,
Yeah, no,
Fred
that's
Durst,
I
like
I
not
really
too
doubt
much
he is.
pressure.
But if you like clip it and tag Fred Durst in, he might.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
He,
start doing that.
dude, he might keep rolling, baby. So I saw a
Bro,
clip.
everyone hated that band, but I fucking love that
I
band.
never hated that man.
I love that band.
It's just like how people like threw massive shade in Nickelback. And I was like, no, I'm with you guys through the storm, okay? Uh,
But you were a diehard from the very beginning.
dude, tell me that Chad Kroeger didn't sing about the
I
shit that we
mean,
were thinking about.
never made it as a wise man. Yeah,
Hmm
he definitely hit the heartstrings. Like
I like your pants around your feet. I like the
that's
dirt that's on your knees. You know what I'm saying?
heartstring shit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I'm just saying. Like he was next level. You can't get away from Nickelback, dude.
Dude, I
Nickelback,
loved his
Fred
voice,
Durst.
bro. And
Dude.
they all played great. They never
Oh,
missed a
dude.
beat.
Have
You
you
know, the
seen the
guitars were always
crossroads?
on time.
Have you seen the crossroads between Nickelback and Hardy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, you gotta check that shit out.
You gotta send
Oh,
that to
he
me.
is in his element.
So what did they do? They just like they just
Well, they
mix
do the
bands, or what did they do?
so they do these country crossroads, right?
Right.
And usually it's like the vanilla ass fucking people, um, mixed with like vanilla ass pop stars and shit.
Yeah.
But they did Hardy,
Yeah.
and he's a badass.
Yeah.
And
I like Hardy.
and they did fucking Chad Kroeger and Nickelback. And I'm like, holy shit. People got
Just
pregnant watching this.
yeah, your ceiling got pregnant watching
Yeah,
that
dude,
shit.
that's what I'm saying. I was like,
Just
I'm like, they're gonna save the kids. Oh, God.
it's a
I
new
saw a video.
revolution.
I saw a video of this dude, and he was, he was probably our age, maybe in between our age. And he went into H&M, which is like, one of those
Yeah,
like
that the fucking
fancy kid, it's
yeah,
like
the
the
shit.
Hollister of today,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or Abercrombie and Fitch of today, whatever, what have you. And he was,
They're shutting down a bunch of them, by the way.
yeah, I don't really give a fuck.
Anyway,
But he was taking videos of the styles that were out, and like the checkered short sleeve shirts are back, and like
they're all
the
crop
fucking
tops.
and the no dude no like from the 90s, dude, like the checkered fucking
Gotcha.
like button down short sleeve shirts,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like the sweater vest type shirts that like the boys in lit used to wear, and like the platform fucking wingtips and
Docs.
shit that have like
Yeah, the
white and
doc
shit on them.
wingtips.
All that shit's coming back again.
Dude,
From the early 90s, or from the late 90s, early 2000s.
that's
So
wild.
like I have hope for the kids
You know
if
what's
they can
weird to
make it through
me?
like the education system.
You know what's weird to me is that the '90s styles are coming back. Like I would have thought it would have been. I mean, because that was only.
It was it
I
was
mean,
it was a
I guess it
long
was
time
20
ago
years
now.
ago.
It was 24
Yeah,
years ago.
I guess it was fucking 20 years ago. I mean, that seems weird to say.
I mean, like
Um,
spiked hair and puku shells is coming, dude.
but I mean, but we were there then,
And
and
how
it was.
awesome were the late 90s,
I mean, they were
early
the late
2000s? They
'90s
were
were
fucking
fun. Yeah,
awesome.
they were fun.
We're
Um,
basically talking about the 70s now, right? So like
we
like our
are.
like how our
We are
dad our,
in
our
our
dad used to
generation.
talk about 70s were fucking awesome.
What I disagree with though, wholeheartedly on that whole '90s, uh, clothes culture coming back is the mom jeans, dude. They didn't look good on mom. They didn't look good on anybody. They didn't look good on the teenagers. They were fucking terrible. It- what was fucking great was the waist high, like the waist ones from the
high waist
70s and
or
80s.
a low waist.
Yeah, the low waisted, like the
Yeah,
ones that just hung on the hips.
they're coming back too, dude. You know the
Those,
ones that were right above the
do
crack?
we have to
Yeah.
wait another 20 years for those
No,
to
dude.
come back?
I'm
Like,
pretty
for fuck's
sure
sake.
they're at a store coming soon.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
so
we only have to wait a couple more years for those to come back, because
yeah, I mean these these
those,
kids and these designers don't have anything left. Like they're going back to
yeah,
80s and 90s, early 2000s.
and that's what looked good. That was great. That's what
And
people were comfortable in.
Justine is super not excited about it because I'm going to be able to walk around like Sugar Ray. And I showed her this video and she was super deflated about it because
You're just gonna be in wife beaters and like
I
an over top button down
I
shirt.
already make
Just
questionable fucking fashion decisions. And you come on my boat, we're listening to Sugar Ray, we're listening to a little bit of Danger Zone,
I'm all right with
you
that.
know?
Yeah,
I'm
we can
just
do
saying,
all of that.
you know?
But the thing is though too is I think I got my first, like, thinking back, I think my first pair of jeans were like a hand me down from WAD that I remember like actually like loving and pulling on. And they were Wranglers because they were hand me downs from WAD. Um,
Naturally. Yeah.
and but then after a few years, it was Levi's, bro. And
Yeah.
and since like 85 on, bro, it's just been fucking Levi's. I'm a Levi's guy. I've always done it. I've always loved it. I've always loved the fit. Um, and then in the 90s, they started coming out with different cuts.
The
So you
fuck
could,
you were Janko all the way.
oh, I wasn't
You were
Janko. Fuck you.
Jabos. You were
I
Jabot.
did, I did like one
You did
pair of
it. You did a
Jabos.
stint in Jabot.
I did. Okay, I had two pair of Jabos.
Fuck you did.
Yeah, no, one pair mom and dad bought me. One pair I bought myself, and then there was
And then the
one
third
pair.
pair you stole from Mervin's.
No, me and Laura Quinney. I think, yeah, we might have stole them, but then me and Laura Quinney like swapped them back and forth. They were a black pair, I think. But other than that, man, it's all been Levi's or denim. You know what I mean?
You know the Janko's back though, right?
Those are fucking terrible, man. They were
They are
terrible then.
they are
They're
back.
terrible now. And you know what's even worse is when like the Jankos for women and girls, they were fucking terrible.
Yeah, I hope those
Um,
don't come back. But
and I hope,
I'm slightly excited though.
are you
Yeah,
are you gonna
I'm
buy a pair?
no.
Well, why are you excited about it then?
I'm just excited to see the explosion of dumb shit. And hopefully these kids get like edgy and like start breaking their ankles on skateboards and like rollerblades and shit again. Because I don't think like anybody watches the X Games anymore because people just they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't understand
Yeah.
like how hard it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Tony Hawk is like old and shit. Fucking Ken Block died. Like we need these kids need people. Um
They need Tony Hawk in their
they
life.
they need Tony
They
Hawk,
need
yeah.
Bones Brigade.
Yeah, dude, they need that
Yeah.
shit. They need to be playing video games trying to do Christ air off a half pipe. Um,
Christ.
yeah, I don't. Uh, yeah. So we're talking about the kids, and we're talking about just how kind of fucked up I think school life is for them. And I didn't realize this obviously until last what 3 years, 3-ish years, 3-4 years. Because I always thought, like public education, bro, fucking raised us. But public education is not what it used to be.
I agree.
And I guess like maybe like being a dad and telling people to get the fuck off my grass. I think maybe that's had a had a say in all this.
I think it's maybe had an impact just on your outlook in general.
Yeah, but it doesn't take away from the worry, right? Because these kids are doing stuff that we didn't do until we were like juniors and seniors in high school or after high school.
As far as what? Like
Like
soaking?
the drugs, the
The drugs.
yeah, I mean the soaking and the derfing, you know. We didn't do any of that, but we were into like doing it and stuff.
We were into making out on the corner.
Yeah, we were into like, hey, I want to jump in the back seat of my car, that type of stuff. But that was, I think,
That was a few years
like
later.
extracurriculars, junior, senior year, that type of stuff was different then as it is now. I mean, God, I have lots of friends that have high schoolers and stuff like that, and people are getting like bee jibbers in the bathroom and stuff. And I'm like,
No way.
it's fucking Utah. And like these kids are like getting busted with coke and freaking what's the fucking other drug,
Like the mollies
fentanyl,
or oh
fentanyl.
yeah, the fentanyls. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah, it's fucking bad.
I heard a news story today that this kid grabbed some gummies off of the counter and took them to school, shared them
All
with
of
the
his
whole
friends high.
class. Everyone was high as dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were like in fourth grade, I think it was. I think they
Holy
were fourth graders.
shit.
Yeah, dude. And but that's what you get having the what do you call it? The um
The dispensaries, the
yeah,
gummies,
yes,
the
yeah, the dispensaries where you can, you get it in any form you want. You can get it cookies, you can get it cakes, you can get it candies, you can get it in chips, you can get it in drinks, you can do all this, whatever. And kids are just snatching. They just see candies. They're gonna go share them with the
fucking
class.
love candy. Yeah.
So everyone loves candy.
Yeah, pretty soon parents need
Snatch
to
them
start
up.
locking up their drugs like they're locking up
That's
their
the kind of
guns.
thing. I mean, the kids are. I mean, the parents of the kids who got fucked up are like
Oh,
they're going back. They're pressing charges against against his parents that didn't they were
they got
negligent
they got high and left their gummies on the counter.
about the shit. I mean, it happens. You know,
Yeah.
but at the same
I
time,
mean, it
like,
doesn't really happen, but that's the thing is
well,
like,
it happened.
well, no, it definitely
And
happened,
it's
but
gonna happen more often with this shit going on. You know what I mean? And it just goes back to the point that you said is like these kids are these kind of things are happening sooner and sooner in their lives than we did or what we even gave credit to what we wanted to happen. You know what I mean?
well, and have you seen like the videos of like the kids graduating, um, your era, my era, and everything versus like what the kids look like now,
Oh, yeah.
and like the kids are like they're developing faster now, but they look younger than we did.
Hmm.
But now we just look the same. Like the aging hit pause, and we just kind of living in it. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
But the
like we
crazy
don't
thing
like
was,
see
dude.
our friends and we're like, God damn, you got old as fuck. Like everybody looks generally the same as they did in high school. But
Yeah,
these
like
kids look like they're 13 graduating fucking high school. But like there's so much shit in the water and everything else. The girls look like they're 25, but
right?
it's a really fucked up thing that is going on right now.
But at the same
And
time, um sorry to cut you off. I had to go or I met a buddy today for lunch down at the Gateway, and I took Third West, and I was driving by, and literally I drove by West High and they were getting out. Um and I saw like 4 dudes out there with legit, like,
Like,
good standing beards. Like,
yeah,
and they were on the grounds with backpacks. So I'm like, these are they're students. They're not, they're not here to
they're
pick up our
not
children.
faculty
Yeah,
or picking up children. Yeah,
faculty. Yeah,
yeah,
they aren't the janitors. Yeah, they're wearing
yeah,
backpacks.
yeah.
They're looking out, looking for their
Looking,
rides, or
yeah.
they're walking to the fucking bus. And I'm like, wow.
It's a really, it's a really odd thing.
It was
I
it
I
was it
remember
was
the
super
only
odd.
time that I ever saw like full mustaches and beards is when we came out to Tooele to play Tooele High.
Oh, those fuckers.
Dude,
Boy, they were corn-fed
yeah,
fuckers
they
that
were all like
were playing.
they were all like
Yeah,
six
they
foot,
were like
full
over
beards.
6 foot.
We were a bunch
Yeah,
of like poor Mexican kids and white kids.
like, yeah, how
There
the
was always
fuck?
like a token black guy on the team. And yeah, that's the only time, like in high
Dude.
school, that we'd like, or Magna, every once in a while.
Oh,
Cypress,
you get one of
they'd
them
have a
country
full
boys
beardy
out in
pictures.
Magna or Cypress, yeah.
Oh
And
God,
and that
you
fucker
see
have
a
like a
mustache
Coulter
and he's
Wall.
God,
Yeah,
and you
he'd have
saw him
like a
walking
Coulter Wall
towards the
beard.
fucking, you saw him walking
Oh,
towards the
oh,
hill. You're like,
yeah, it's like that
son
guy's
of
getting
a
on the hill.
bitch. You're like, oh, this guy's gonna throw
Yeah, dude,
90.
it
This
was
shit's
gonna
gonna,
be fucking over,
this
dude.
shit is gonna fucking
And he
hurt.
was gonna gas you up.
Oh, dude, it was not good. It was not good.
Oh, I hated those fucking games out there, dude. Only
Dude,
for that reason. Like, I knew it
yeah.
was gonna be hot. I knew there wasn't gonna be a fucking infield. It was just gonna be all dirt. So okay, I can get over that. But you see a fucking 6-footer guy with a Coulter Wall beard walking up to the fucking hill, dude. You
Yeah.
knew it was gonna be a bad day.
And that dude is like, hey, darling, sleeping on the blacktop.
Right? Choo, choo, choo.
You're like, fuck.
Fuck, man. This guy plays for fucking Cyprus?
Yeah, I was behind this guy before I even fucking took the field. I can't even catch up. Fuck, dude.
Well, and going back to these kids these days, like, they don't get that kind of experience nowadays. I mean, maybe if they're playing on the ball team, I don't know any of these kids that age that are playing ball now, but still, um, I think you're right. I mean, they're growing up a little too fast. I'm guilty of it myself. The kids have their phones and they have their apps and their games and stuff, and yeah, we monitor them and all that, but like, they're getting a feel for the world and stuff outside their natural surroundings, um a lot, a fuck of a lot earlier than we did, you know.
Oh yeah. No, I'm fixing to have my kids at a massive disadvantage. They're gonna be dumb. Absolutely dumb. Sam's like, when can I get a cell phone? I was like, when you turn 16 and I have to track you.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, there's so much out there that are just making them grow up so fast, and it's not even that the information is too quickly at their feet. It's just that everything is at their feet. We have like legalized prostitution that's like the internet now.
Hmm.
OnlyFans and shit like that. They were like, no, no, like stay away from that.
Well, and remember when we were young, mom was like, just watch out for the white van. Because they're gonna either try to snatch you up or they're gonna try to sell you cocaine. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we didn't even know what the fuck that was, or they're gonna try to get you high or whatever. Okay, so we watched out for the white van and we watched out for all this kind of stuff. And
Yeah, but if it
you
was a
know,
black van or a blue van or it sold ice cream, we were
like,
basically in
yeah,
the
if it
van
had fucking music, man, I'm
trying to get a fudge sickle and some of the gummy fucking cigarettes.
right. And it was okay, and we could do that back then, and like, nowadays, like even like I hear the ice cream man, the girls hear the ice cream man, they're coming up for me. And the ridiculous thing is like the ice creams are like $5 a pop now, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like you can't get anything from the ice cream man under $5.
That's
And
ridiculous.
but like that's all going on, but who's to say like it's just not another white van ready to snatch up your kids? And at this point I'm like, well, you know, try them. I'll give you like half an hour with them. You know what I mean? Try to snatch up my
You're gonna drop
kids.
them off. You're gonna drop
I'll
them off.
give you like a half an hour with them. You're gonna drop them off, and you're gonna ping me and be like, "Hey, man, I tried to snatch up your kids, but they're like half a
Yeah.
mile down.
Hey, that's my
They're out on
bad.
Redwood.
That's my
My
bad.
bad."
They're over there. Drop me a pin. I'll go pick them up.
I'll give you your $10 back.
Well, and so
Yeah,
like JT and I have talked about this a bunch. We were out there riding our bikes, tearing up the neighborhood. Just got to be back home before the streetlights come on. I live in a neighborhood where streetlights are outlawed.
that's
There's
horseshit.
It's
You
because we
kidding me?
have we have observatories and shit out here.
Oh, good Christ.
So yeah, it's not equal. And the thing is like we traveled in packs,
Yeah.
and every front hose that was out, it was community property
That was,
because we
yeah.
needed a drink. If
Yeah.
it was like it could be a friend of a friend's hose, and
Or
you
it
might
could
only be able to
be,
turn it on for like a couple minutes before somebody's mom came out yelling at you to get the fuck out of their yard. But at least 4 or 5 of you were gonna get a drink from that hose
yeah.
before it was time to move on.
Yeah, or you could just spray everybody with it and everyone felt
Yeah,
good for
and
about
the
3 minutes.
summers were hot. But yeah, I mean, but riding your bikes around, doing that shit with your buddies was like real world knowledge. You
Dude,
were you were in it. You were in the world.
you
You
were
were
in
out
it.
there.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. Mom had no
Dude,
idea where you were, and she could have whistled 20 minutes ago. You could be dead when you get home. But you know what? You were
trying to get your ass up.
LIVIN until them streetlights came on.
Oh,
And on the
dude.
chances she didn't whistle and you didn't miss it, you could ask for a sleepover at one of your buddies' houses.
Dude, you were like one of the last generations that got to enjoy that. You know what I mean? I know you enjoyed that with mom. But at the same time, like these kids nowadays, they don't get that because like, well, now like mine don't even want to go ride bikes. You know what I mean? They don't want. I mean, they had perfect weather like a couple days ago, and they could have been out riding all fucking night with their
Mhm.
pack or whatever. But they don't pack up. The kids
They
don't pack
don't.
up like
They
they
don't.
like we used
It's
to.
hard
They
to
don't pack up
kidnap a
like
pack of wild children.
yeah. And they don't pack up like we used to, and it's fucking sad to me, dude.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a big time bummer. And see, like my boys love riding their bikes. And and it's definitely a fault of mine. I always have too much shit going on. Where I'm like, no, not today, not today. I can't be out there and watch you guys because I like to pull a grandpa and I'll sit out there in a lawn chair and get blasted while these kids are riding their bikes.
Yeah. But you
But
have them riding the fucking driveway, right?
no, I have them
I
right down
mean,
the
the
streets, like end of the street, back.
sure, okay, yeah.
Watch out for them hills. Hope you get a running start.
Yeah, there's some bitch.
Yeah, and so I'll go out there and like smoke a cigar and drink beer or whatever. I have cool neighbors. Every once in a while, they'll send me outside and just bring me like spiked lemonade. And then I won't tell Justine that it's spiked, and she'll be having a good time and not even know why.
She's like, I don't even want to cook dinner now.
Yeah. What are we ordering?
You're like, me
I'm like,
either.
I'm cooking right now. The grill's right here. What do we do?
I've had burgers on for half an hour.
Yeah, but like those times I feel like are gone.
I know. Uh, they're fading fast, which is sad. Um, but it's just kids. I think in one sense, there has to be that kid that just brings it back. You know what I mean? And the kid that just says, no, we're gonna be Goonies again,
Mhm.
and we're gonna go explore, and and then grab a group of kids that are like from 15 to fucking like 6. You know what I mean? Grab them all and be like, okay, we're gonna go do Goonies shit. And
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I think
I
that's
remember
where
like
we
the
need to
oldest kids
be.
in our pack were like just like months away from their driver's licenses,
Yeah,
and we
right.
were all hitting the same busted ass wooden jumps and shit like that, or driving
Yeah.
over or riding our bikes over to the Jordan jumps. And just like if one of us broke our arm, dude, like they were gonna have to go to the apartments and call 911, and like mom was gonna meet us there, and hopefully we got our bike back.
Right.
Like
Yeah. And
that's kind of the way it was, dude. Is if you fall down, dude, dust yourself off.
well, I think it's the fun thing too. I hear a lot of these things on the socials about the Gen X and all that, and I think that I think you're right on the cusp of X and Z or whatever the fuck.
It's like X and
Um,
millennial. I don't even know
yeah,
how the whole thing
yeah,
breaks down.
X and millennial. Yeah, I don't really either. But the thing is you're, yeah, I mean, if like because like most siblings say like, so I'm an Xer, and um but most siblings that are our age apart, you know what I mean? Um, I'd have just been like, nah, they'd have been like, nah, you can't hang with us, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm off with my friends, and then really, you don't really see them much, you know what I mean? And they're off doing their stuff, but um,
Oh
I,
man.
I mean, I had a soft spot for you, so like, I really roped you into everything that we were fucking doing. So you really got that like X
Yeah,
experience.
I really got
You know what
screwed
I
with
mean?
the whole fucking millennial thing because now it's like, let's see. Yeah, let's see. We'll accept it. So it's saying the Gen Xers are 65 to 80. The millennials are
65.
81 to 2000. And then the Zers are 2001 to 2020. Right, but like
But you're right
we
on that cusp.
yeah, but
Because like I said,
we grew up
w-
in Utah. So we were always a decade behind. Or as Kennedy would say,
right?
a decade.
Decay, yeah.
Um so we got to enjoy those things that those kids
Well,
after us didn't get to.
yeah, no, and those kids after, I mean, they kind of became a bunch of pussies. Like, I mean, they weren't doing the stuff that we were doing. They weren't hanging out until after dark. They weren't, you know,
Oh yeah, the
they,
night games.
yeah, I remember the night games,
Yeah,
and
you might kiss a girl if you showed up to night
oh,
games.
dude, the night games were the fucking best, man. When the game wouldn't, like we had to end the game at midnight, like, we can go until midnight. And
Yeah.
like, if
Because
y'all
you
don't know the
said you were
game,
sleeping over at friends' houses,
yeah,
but you weren't sleeping over at friends' houses because they were sleeping over at your house.
if y'all don't know the game was, basically tag at night in the whole fucking neighborhood.
Or
That
hide and go
was
seek. It was hide and go seek.
it's hide and go seek, yeah, basically, yeah. In
It
the
was
whole
it was
fucking
like
neighborhood.
yeah,
And
or
and
like
we'd
we'd
set street boundaries.
streets,
We were
yeah.
like, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 blocks square. and it was at night, and those
Hiding
were,
under cars in the
oh
back of
my
people's
God, dude.
trucks. Just
Jumping
hoodlums.
fences, dude. Oh, that was the best, man. The absolute fucking best.
It was so much fun. Yeah. And like, so the kids are not going to get that these days, but the kids are going to get whatever drugs they want now,
But could you
which
imagine? But could you imagine? Like, I can't really look at myself and be like, okay, like look at one of my children and be like, okay, you can go play the night tag game until midnight. Like now? Like, are
no,
you kidding me? No
no,
way.
no.
I was like,
It's,
okay, take your phone, put on your location, and I'll check in every half an hour. You know what I mean? I'd be a super
yeah,
fucking,
you got to air tag your kid now.
yeah, I'd be a
I
super
hope they don't
chip.
get put in a fucking Connex box.
But at the same time, like, am I wrong about that? Am
No,
I
but at the
being too
same,
fucking tight about that?
yeah,
I
but
don't know. You know what
at
I
the
mean?
same time now, like they could legitimately, and like I said, this could be the old man talking, just out doing drugs,
Yeah, doing drugs, having the sex.
doing drugs at 10.
Ah, dude.
But oh man, it's scary.
I remember like I almost had a couple chicks talked into sex by like 11 or 12. You know what I mean? And my oldest is 11 right now. Like,
And
what
then
the fuck, man?
midnight came, and you're like, yeah, maybe next time.
Yes, like I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb. But like
It is weird.
the access to drugs now is scary, and it's
Well, especially the shitty drugs,
yeah, that's the thing
like
is like
bad drugs.
drugs used to be like okay, like it
Yeah, you
was
could
weed.
smoke them, or yeah, or maybe like someone got some diet pills, like some cross tops from their mom's counter or something. You know, you pop a few cross tops, you run around for an hour, and then we'd be tired. But other than that, like that was the only thing going on back then. Now you got to worry about meth. You're worried about cocaine. You're worried about the marijuana because I mean, with the shit that they're doing with the marijuana, there's a billion fucking strains. And what are they putting in? They're putting in brownies, candies. They're doing all this shit. Like,
Yeah,
who the
like
fuck
literally.
knows?
Yeah, like yeah, what kind of weed donut did your kid just eat?
Yeah, no fucking shit,
It's
man.
really it's kind of scary.
It's real
And
scary, and it's shit we got to think about now that we
so
didn't have
like
to think about when we were younger.
yeah, so like our parents were worried about us going and smoking drugs. Now we're worried about them like shooting up and snorting meth or whatever the fuck, cocaine. And I'm not a pro drug guy. I'm like, you can make weed legal and tax it or whatever. I don't really give a fuck. But it's just like all those synthetics out there, they're fucking scary.
I I agree. You know, and this may be something that you're not gonna agree with me. But I've thought this for a long time because this was kind of the way that um I was brought up, not by mom and dad, but by John and Kathy. And they were like, okay, well, if you want to try it,
Try
you
it
can
here.
you try it here. Yeah,
Yeah.
try it here under my supervision, and you can decide whether you like it or not. And if you don't, and they weren't like, obviously they weren't letting us do math and all that kind of
Yeah, I mean,
the
there wasn't a
the
bunch of
hard
coked up
shit.
14-year-olds running around. Yeah.
Right, right. But when it came to like weed or alcohol or what was the other one that was going to like the cross tops, like the speed was a big one when we were like, speed was the coke of our generation, before it was like coke.
Because y'all
And
needed more energy, right?
yeah, because we needed more energy. And and they were cool about it. They're like, hey, we have this, you guys, if you guys want to try it, you try it here. We can keep an eye on you just so you can try it out and see how fucking terrible it is.
Then you cannot do it again.
And then yeah, then you don't have to do it again, and we don't have to fucking keep fucking busting your ass about it and blah 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 blah. And it worked. You know what I mean? You know we did it. You know, a few times with them, and it's just like, yeah, see, it's not that great, and blah blah blah. But with I don't know, the booze just stuck.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a given.
They were they were they
I
are always
remember,
about.
and I've told you this before. Well, you were there, but Dad caught me with a trunk full of fucking beer and a beer bong
Yeah,
and
the beer
in
bong.
my car, yeah. And the guy at the fucking Sutherland's he was really dope. We're like, he's like, what are you guys
He's
making?
like,
We're like a beer bong. He's like, well, you want the ball valve on aisle 3,
you're
you
gonna
want the
want
hose
this.
on aisle 16, and you want the funnel from aisle 3.
Make sure you
He's
get
like,
the 3 inch
he's like, you
hose.
want to get that? You want to get some electrical tape or some plumbing tape? You want to make sure that's good and tight. Like he was a gangster, right? He was our Sherpa on the fucking beer bong building journey, and just from there we went from like ones to like threes to like, let's all share beers. Um, but yeah, I remember. I mean, Dad probably just had like a sneaking suspicion or whatever, just being Dad. Like goes and pops the trunk, like he's got to get something out of the back of my car because he
It's like,
always puts shit in
you
the back
need,
of my car,
yeah,
right?
fuck you, get out of my car.
Opens up a fucking cooler of ice down beers and a beer bong. I was like 17, maybe.
Son of
He's like, "Hey, what's all this?" I was like, "Well, see what had happened
the
was
beers and a beer
is
bong.
it's a Friday night and I don't play football, but I'm going to the football game." He's like, "All right, oh, don't drink and drive." Like, whoa, that is not how I saw this going. you know, that is not how I saw this fucking ending up. I was
Yeah.
expecting to go back up to my fucking room and have to tell the boys I'm not going to be there tonight, even though I had all the beer. And, it worked out.
Is that when you and Dad became friends?
I mean, it was definitely one of the turning points for sure. Um,
Did you come home drunk that night?
I don't remember, so probably. Or I slept at one of my buddy's houses drunk. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the moral of the story is, kids, is if you're 17 and you have a beer bong and a cooler full of beer in your trunk, watch out for your dad that's trying to get a tire iron out or whatever the fuck he said he was getting in there for.
Uh,
But
your dad
it,
might not be the asshole that you think he is.
yeah, really, it kind of worked out because he probably just pulled a couple of the MGDs out for himself. Because at that point, you're like, fuck, what do I like? I don't know. Dad drinks MGD. Let's fucking do that.
Oh, was it a thing full of
Oh,
MGD?
the Miller
That's
Genuine Draft.
oh man,
Oh, we were shotgunning
those.
MGDs like it was fucking going out of style.
Were you really?
But yeah, so I never really got into like the whole drug thing. And even like when we were like 18, my buddies were like smoking weed and shit. Like they didn't want to tell me about it because they were like,
He's not really a weed guy.
I'm like, I don't fucking care. Whatever.
You want to
Um,
smoke?
I'm like, as long as you fucking show up and you like pitch lights out, dude. Like I don't really give a fuck what you're doing.
Right.
Because we're in this together. Like I'm in the outfield, dude. I got to track this shit down. If you're getting shelled, I'm gonna be tired. It's but so like that type of thing, that's kind of like I don't know, maybe it's an old school way of thinking, but you used to be able to buy beer when you were 18. I was a couple years shy, and
Yeah.
that was kind of old school. But we didn't die, we didn't get DUIs, we weren't stupid about it. And I feel like because these kids didn't drive around on their bikes causing, havoc and drinking out
Maybe
other people's hoses and stuff, that they didn't get the
sugar
street
up
smarts to not
everything.
be idiots. I swear to God, these kids get caught doing everything because they're posting it on the fucking internet and TikToks and shit. I'm gonna get my
Yeah,
kids
no
flip
fucking
phones
shit,
because if they're
man.
doing dumb shit, I don't want to fucking know. And you
I
can't
don't want to
post it
see
to
it on my
TikTok
TikToks.
and get busted. There's no fucking evidence, dude. You send a text message. Were you there? Were you not? You know, it's that whole plausible deniability thing.
Yeah, and that works out, for most cases. But the thing is, I guess my thing was just like we got all that shit out when we were, I mean, before we were even fucking 21. You know what I mean? We got
Yeah.
the drug shit out. I mean, we drank at an early age. And we partied at friends' houses and did all that shit, and then we'd go party after the baseball games and have a good time. But like we did a bunch of that shit before we even turned 21, before we could even like legally buy booze.
But we
And
always knew
like
an
and
Indian guy that we could buy it from.
oh yeah, those
Like
those
like
uh
dot
those
not
those
feather.
dots. Yeah, those dots are like, oh, you ready for another tic tac, buddy? Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, buddy,
Yeah. Well, that's
I
the thing
am.
is like if you went up there like a big dick in a locker room and threw a fucking 18er up on the counter, they're like,
Yeah,
especially if like MGD, they're like, all right,
sure, yeah.
all
And
right,
20
it's yours,
bucks
buddy. Yeah.
because back then 20 bucks would cover a fucking 18er no
Yeah.
matter
You
what
still had
brand it
$5 for
was.
gas.
Yeah, no, I just leave it for the guys. Like that's your
Fuck
tip,
that.
bro.
If I had extra
Should
money, I
not
was buying
fucking
some
say shit.
Swisher Sweets or some Black and Mild.
These fuckers on the block always wanted cigars. Um, but but you know, so like we were doing that stuff before we even like were even of drinking age, and so we had a lot of those smarts. We did our party and we kind of got the ways of the neighborhood or got the ways of the world, in our little world or whatever. But these kids don't have that now. You know what I mean? They're not doing that. They're not. I I I feel like they're a lot dumber for it. You know what I mean?
Oh
Because
yeah.
they don't have the packs that we ran in. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? The
dude.
kind of packs that we ran in. They don't run in those packs. They're just kind of by themselves, and
Well, and
I don't know. It's weird.
when I was in high school, like I'd always score points with the girls because they're like, "Hey, can you give me a ride home later?" And I'm like, "Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'll hook you up. I'll get you home." And then stop drinking. And then get them home safe or whatever. And they're like, "Thanks so much for getting me home safe." I'm like, "So what you doing Friday? Like, you want to go out? You want to go to the drive-in? Like, what do you want to do?" And
Yeah,
they're like,
that's an easy hook.
"Let's go." You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so different then. Now I'm a little bit worried. Uh, you got two girls. You know, you got to worry about all the dicks.
Like every dick in town.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got two boys. I got to worry about two dicks. You know, so yeah, and I'm sure that our parents went through this too because back in their day they were just getting drunk and you know that was about it. Maybe smoking a little weed,
Yeah.
and that's really all their parents had to worry about. But watch out now. There's meths on the street, coke's out, fentanyl. Watch out.
Oh, the fentanyl, man.
About to throw
It's
some
wild.
fucking Narcan in the fucking glove box in case one of their buddies
Yeah,
overdoses or some
shit. It'll
shit.
start the fucking heart back up. Like
Yeah.
just keep this in your glove box. It may can't come in handy at
Yeah.
a time or two.
Shit. You used to have to worry about people getting stung by bees and having to use a fucking EpiPen. Now you gotta fucking get the Narcan pen out for your buddies. It's really fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a few states that are just over fucking ran with that shit, and they're having like junior high school kids and elementary school kids like coming into the ERs, just just racked out on it, and like I can't imagine that. I'm glad that we're where we're at, so it hasn't hit here as fast, but it's gonna. You
But
know what I mean? It's
the Cali
coming.
is coming here, yeah.
Yeah, the Cali is coming here. That bullshit's fucking coming here. And that I fucking that's what that's what I hate about that whole culture and those fucking people coming here because they bring that fucking element like can we just keep it fucking old school? Just smoke a little dope, do a line or
Yeah.
two when it suits you, but like don't fuck up the kids.
Don't
Come
do a line. Like, don't let the kids do lines.
on. Yeah, don't
No,
let the kids do lines.
yeah, keep those for yourself. They might have fentanyl in them. But no, I'm curious kind of like what other people are doing as parents, right? Because I think we're all in that same spot, right? Where we have, kids that are on, the edge of high school, whether it be the front edge or the back edge of high school, and kids that are getting ready to go into it soon enough. So I am curious as to what other parents are doing and the thoughts of other parents because we might talk about mental health and everything, and the paranormal and conspiracy shit, but the kids are, you know, our future if we're not, is uh as they say, but
Well, I gotta tell
how are
you.
we gonna protect them? How's everybody protecting them? Because I think that our our listeners, our viewers, and the people around us, they're going through the same shit. What what are their plans? What are they doing? You know,
Yeah.
I'm open to ideas at this point
Well,
because that shit is
I
terrifying.
I'm the same way. Like that whole thing is like you we talk about men's mental health and we want to get on a good spot and we want to kind of be on an even plane for most most of the time and the most of the times we're you know um conscious, but at the same time like most of my mental health is fucking sucked up by like what's happening with my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if I'm being a good father, and if I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm making the right choices, and
protecting them.
yeah, and protecting how they need to be protected, and then giving the freedom that they that they want and all this kind of thing, and and a lot of times, like I said, like my mental health is sucked up by the kids and you know uh, and what they're doing and how they're making me feel, you know what I mean? And there's a point where like I don't feel like I need to I don't feel like I need to react in a negative way about like say, I'm trying to wake him up in the morning. It's like, I hate when you do that. I hate when you try to wake me up. It's like, I don't give two shits. Get up,
Get
get
up.
to school. You know what I mean? Like that I'm not worried about. Like
You're
if you
lucky
want
I'm
to talk
driving you
shit,
to school and you don't have to catch the bus.
right? It's like but at the same time, like I still worry about their well-being, still worry about what their friends are doing, and I'm over here judging their friends. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. No,
Um,
I am super
I'm,
judgy.
I'm way judgy on their friends. Way judgy, and yeah, like yeah. Um,
It's it's a little scary.
it is. It is. F has really good friends. I like her friends. But F was bullied. F was bullied last year or the year before last and a little bit last year and like that was the whole thing. Like I had to go to the school. We had to work it out. I kind of want to punch that kid's dad in the fucking face. Like I wanted to bully his ass, you know what I mean? And then
Oh,
finally
dude.
we got him out. It was a boy that was bullying my daughter. Like what the fuck, man? Like there was some weird shit going on like that. And I'm like, you know what? If he fucking says anything to you anymore or he touches you or anything like that, bust this guy in the fucking nose. And I showed her how to do it. And I was like, you know what? If you get in trouble, you get suspended. I don't give a shit. It's his bad. Fuck him,
So on the
you
topic of
know?
bullying, right? JT and we've talked about how bullies are a necessary evil,
I
and
think they are.
even Mike is, we talked about bullies. We need bullies. It helps society. If you're not bullied as a younger and you don't know how to get through it, you're not gonna know how to get through it as an
Sure.
adult.
Like anything, yeah.
I was in a very fucking thick conundrum at the Tractor Supply uh, earlier this week, and it wasn't
Someone
just.
try to bully you, bro?
No, it was not that somebody tried to bully me. It wasn't that I was trying to buy a zero-turn mower or buying chicken feed. It was that somebody was trying to get donations, a donation from me for an organization to stop bullying. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, so here's the fucked up part was that he brought a picture and a story of a 12-year-old that was bullied, and the kid had checked out.
Oh, really?
The kid killed himself because of bullying.
Wow.
But it seemed like a very inappropriate time to tell my stance and thoughts on bullying because he was showing me a picture of a kid that got bullied, that killed himself at a very young
Mhm.
age. So I I didn't donate to the anti-bullying faction that he was trying to gain money for.
Mhm.
Uh because I do believe that they're a necessary evil. But I mean, there's definitely a bridge too far when it comes to it. I do believe that. But I do think that bullying is a necessary evil. Not that I want your kids to get bullied or anything like that, but if my kids are getting bullied, I want them to stand up and realize how to deal with it. And I don't know because it's such a sensitive subject, especially when it comes to kids, like young kids, and young kids often themselves. Like I don't agree with that at all. But when does the parents come into play when it comes to the mental fortitude in the child
Mhm.
and the bullying, and when is it time to fight back, right? Like you just gave a perfect example of your kid was getting bullied, you taught your kid how to fight back and you equipped her with the tools
Mhm.
to fuck this bully up.
Yeah. We sat and we had a little boxing lesson. You know what I mean?
Right. And you
And
got bullied as a kid and learned how to box when you were a kid.
yeah, I got bullied before I even went into fucking school, and then I got bullied when I went into school.
Yeah, and so it becomes a very sensitive topic, and I don't ever remember getting bullied in school. Uh, and I wasn't bigger, faster, and stronger. I mean, I take
Well,
that
fuck,
back.
you were
I
you
was
well
faster than everybody, but I was not bigger,
you were flip
and I
size
wasn't bigger and stronger.
until you were fucking 12.
I wasn't
I
bigger
mean,
and
you
stronger,
were
but
a skinny guy. I
yeah, I
mean,
mean, I would mentally handicap people very
mhm.
quickly, and I never remember being bullied. Uh, when it comes down to that, and I might be one of the fortunate ones, but I had a dad that was not about it. I had a bigger brother, and I, I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, I'll hit you. I just had a different disposition than most, but I'm, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing for sure. And I've told Sam, I'm like, somebody's messing with you, dude. Hit him. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And God, dude, I've gotten calls, and Sam's in the fourth grade. I've gotten calls from the principal and from his teacher saying that Sam got in a fight. I'm like, okay, well, how'd the fight start? Did he win? Like, I'm not a good parent
Yeah,
to
did he
call.
win?
And
Yeah.
get home, find out, well, he's fighting with one of his best friends. That's the neighbor kid. And then me and Colin, or me and the neighbor, We crack beers and we're drinking beer, laughing about these two idiots that are fighting about a freaking soccer game or whatever the fuck they're doing at school.
I was like,
And
put
they're
the
running
gloves on and
and
check it up in the
they're running around hanging out in the driveway with like black eyes and shit.
right.
So maybe a little bit old school. Um, but it wasn't a bully, it was just he got in a fight with his friends.
Yeah,
Chalk it up.
it was like
Like
they're both fine.
like did you win?
is he
Because
gonna
we're
win next
because
time?
we're
Maybe.
because we're a family of winners.
We win. We win when we fight. Well, that's kind of the whole thing too. Like I think dad's whole thing was like, when we were young, he was a big fighter when he was in school and stuff, and so like, you know, I was like when I was young, I was kind of a mama's boy. You know what I mean? It was a very kind of recluse kind of kid, but he still instilled that whole things like we slap fought and stuff like that. He did the slap fighting, and we did the slap fighting and stuff, and so when it connected, it hurt. You know what I mean? So I could feel that. So I was like, okay, well, if anything, and he's like, well, Gabe, you feel that, someone is hitting you at school like that or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that
chuck
sucks.
chuck them back, and so I always kind of kept that in the thing, but like we were the whole street was bullied by this one kid, and he was like Debo, it was like,
That's my
right, you
bike,
heard him
punk.
come, yeah, you heard him come to see. He's stealing your bikes, he's stealing your sandwiches, stealing your Sunny D's, whatever we had out there,
Just my Sunny
he's
D.
just snatching up everything, and he was a couple of years older than all of us, you know what I mean, and just snatching up everything, being a dick, beating us up, and doing all this kind of stuff, and and it was a sad thing. I mean, a few years later when we got into school, we were a few years into school. I think Justin Flynn were like in fifth or fourth or fifth grade, maybe sixth, and this kid was a couple years older than them. He unalived himself,
Yeah, it's a very young age.
but
As a bully.
as a bully, he had all this power over these kids on his street, um, had all this power over us, and we wouldn't even ride past his house anymore. Like we rode bikes up and down the street and around the corners and all this kind of stuff, and to like I said, until the lights came on or mom whistled or whatever. But we would never go past his house because we knew we were getting whatever we had on us, it was getting snatched up. He's a bully. He's beating us up. He's doing whatever. But yeah, a few years later, the guy offs himself. Um, and obviously he was bullying us because of his
He was
own,
having a hard time.
yeah, his own mental struggles and his own personal struggles and all that. So, I looked at bullying as like, that's not fucking cool. Like, that happened to me and whatever. And then, I'm in first and second grade. There's another kid that's kind of bullying everybody. And I'm like, he bullied me a little bit. And I'm like, hey, like, let's be friends. Can we be friends? Will you come over to the house? Will you come play? And he's like, why you want to play with me? You know what I mean? And they punch me in the fucking chest. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Look, like, come on, come play. Then he comes and plays. Finds out he's of a broken home, but I'm glad you came to the house and we could work some stuff out and figure out what was going on with you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, you know,
It's all
and
it's all kind
it
of relative.
and
And after I got bullied, I was like, nah, fuck that. Ain't nobody bullying nobody here. So I'd pick on the fucking guys that were trying to pick on these weaker kids. To this day, I see this guy at pickup, and we don't talk about it, you know what I mean? But we're like, hey, shake his hand. It's like, I got you, bro. Like, I still got you right now. If this fucking principal tries to bully your ass, like, fuck this guy. You know what I mean? I'll throw the first punch.
Yeah, so I had several situations like that where sticking up for somebody that was getting bullied or something like that. And I was never a big kid or anything like that, but I got enough respect where it was like, okay, well maybe I'm not going to touch him anymore. And you know who
Mm.
people used to get people used to fuck with Tom. You know Tom.
Oh yeah, Tommy.
People
Yeah.
used to fuck with Tom, and I've known Tom since middle school, and he's always been the same guy, just fun-loving guy, and just kind of did his own
Just
thing,
likes to make a joke.
just
Just
kind of, you know, not a weird dude, just different, right?
mhm. Yeah.
Love the shit out of him. The dude was wearing, like the, pipes and, goth stuff and everything, but always a good dude. And people would try and fuck with him. You're like, no, don't fucking touch him. You leave him the fuck alone. And, he ended up being like, by the time we got to high school, still a weird kid. And, but like he tried out to be a cheerleader and stuff like that and
Oh
everything.
yeah, I remember his
And,
cheerleaders.
yeah, yeah. And, he ended up becoming like one of these most like beloved people,
Hmm.
like in high school for the people that knew him and everything. And nobody fucked with him. Nobody, nothing. And, same thing. Didn't have the most stable growing up environment, but he made do and turned out to be a beautiful fucking man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Fantastic.
yeah, takes care of his people, takes care of, his family, everything. You could ask him for the shirt off his back and he'd give it to you. And, we didn't always hang out or anything like that. And, God, we didn't really hang out until we came back from the Marine Corps. And we were kind of, well, we weren't kind of, we were 100% like each other's fallback point when we
Uh-huh.
got out. Because I got out of the Marine Corps, I got him out of the Marine Corps a few months early, and he joined. I got him out a few months early on a school cut, and then I joined him probably 3 or 4 months later. And it was just kind of like a weird. Hey, dude, I know you. Like, why are you wandering around this CP? And he showed me what he was here for, and I was like, oh, okay, don't worry, dude, I got you, don't worry. And people were fucking with him still. The people were fucking with him in the Marine Corps. I'm not telling him what he had to do. He was trying to get out. He was trying to do the right thing, and he just nobody would tell him what the fuck he had to do, or give him the right paperwork or anything like that. And being the admin god that I am, I took care of him, got him out, and
Got to
he
get it
was
worked out for him.
he was one of the first people there when I got out of the Marine Corps, and we were there for each other until, you know, I mean, we obviously we still talk and everything and hang out, but like there for each other until the end, and until he got better and I got better.
Hmm.
So you never know who's going to be there for you when it comes to stuff like that. Behind like every bully and every kid that's getting bullied, there is generally somebody that's standing up for those people too,
Yeah.
or should be. But we're gonna have to leave that where it is because we're gonna have to sign off.
Yeah.
We are not gonna get into the cheeky and mysterious, and we will have to save our paranormal topic for next time.
Do we start off with that next time or no?
Nah, we'll get to it.
Yeah,
It's all
we'll
right.
get to it.
We'll get to it. I think the important part is kind of, the mental health aspect, kind of the things that we've done, how we've gotten through it, and gathering the opinions of how other people have gotten through it and the things that they've done. I think that's the important part. And the levity that we add by adding the paranormal and everything, that's fun, but we can get to it next time.
Well, and I think this is kind of an important topic. We're talking about our mental health, really getting down to kind of like what our kids are going through, our fears in that, and how kind of we've overcame some of those things when we were kids. And I'd like to hear some comments, like seriously, like if you listen, throw some comments in there. What do you do? Because I mean, we're not perfect. We don't have this thing figured out, and I think that those are some of the things that we can all help each other with. So
Yeah,
sound off in the comments. We'd love it.
yeah, we're living it day by day as parents too. We don't have this shit figured out, so if you do, let us know.
Yeah,
I
no
think
fucking shit.
I think it's important as a group and as a culture that we kind of come together and we keep fostering the culture, whether it's just not just us, but the kids and how everybody's getting through everything too.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to know. I mean, there's always something to learn from somebody who's gone through, something more than we have. We've gone through a lot, but we haven't gone through everything. So, let us know because we're always open to learn
Yeah.
and love.
So on the end of
That note,
this love fest, this love fest about
love for
legacies,
cultures and legacies and
legacies and
children's.
keeping the kids safe.
Let's keep the kids safe.
Do you have
I'm
any shout outs?
51. Not like specifically. I mean, I would like to shout out though the boys that were the unsung heroes of the grand opening, which uh were Charlie, I think, Donnie, Nathan. That guy's always a fucking monster. Um, yeah. The women. Jess. We never shout out Jess. She never gets a fucking call out.
No, she definitely deserves a call out. She is always so positive. She works her ass off, and it was great to have her part of the crew. It was great to have her on the team, and and yeah, we're shouting out our own sister, but she really brought a lot to the table, and that was really cool. Her, Dana, Natasha, Maggie, like
Yeah, Maggie. And
uh,
and
I
and
mean,
and and Hook himself
I
and
mean,
and
we might
and
we
Maggie Hook.
the men
They
might be the
killed it.
wrecking crew, but the females were definitely the finishing crew.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, there would there would have been no bottles labeled.
They
There would have
really
been
made
no
us.
bottles put on
Yeah.
shelves. So
They really
yeah,
made us look good.
and just side note, pretty much any bottle that you guys touched, there's been one of our team members that have touched it too. Whether it be washing the bottles, pulling the bottles out of the boxes, corking the bottles, filling the bottles, labeling the bottles, cleaning the bottles off so they're not honey sticky,
Oh my god.
putting them on shelves, putting them back in the cases, things like that. There's not a person on the crew that didn't make a big difference and didn't touch the bottles. So shout out to everybody that is on the BVMC crew that helped with the grand opening, help with the bottles that you guys are touching and drinking now. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the booze and the hooch as much as everybody enjoyed, loved touching and feeling it. Because the crew's definitely a family, and the family came together and put everything together for all of you that wanted to hooch, that waited a long time and stuck with us through all the hooch balls and everything else. So cheers to them for sure. Cheers to you guys. Keep grabbing bottles, and soon there's going to be 4 new flavors. I do have to shout out the whole county of Stillwater.
The whole Stillwater County.
This whole Stillwater County and the city of Columbus. You guys have fully embraced us with open arms, showed up 100% for us, and the news articles, the radio programs, we couldn't have dreamt of a better reception, and we couldn't have dreamt of nicer things that you guys had to say. And just, it's cool. It's cool being part of a small town, and it's cool having all those people show up and show out for you. So cheers to you guys.
Yeah, we really feel the love and we feel the embrace. So, like, thanks doesn't even do it justice. It's love. Like it's an embrace.
Oh yeah, definitely.
From the Bearded Viking.
Yeah, Stillwater County, you're definitely our family now. So
yes,
we'll take care of you. You keep taking care of us. So, shall we sign off?
I think we should sign off.
All right. Well, cheers, motherfuckers, and stay weird, beardos.
Always shock 'em dead, baby.
Cheers.
Cheers.